It's 7 a.m. Time for the opening drive.
Voted the best sports show in New Mexico
for 5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with Jeff Siembieda and JJ Buck.
Well, let's see how you like the transfer portal now. Maybe a little bit better. I don't know. You got guys coming in. These guys go out. You got a guy from Arizona State. If you're an Aggie fan, maybe you like a little more. You got a guy from Washington. You got a guy from Missouri. What's up, y'all? Happy Friday. Hopefully you like Fridays. It's the opening drive. Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck. Aaron's producing on the TV side. Bobcat back on the radio side. First, Richard Pitino recruit, Jalen House, 6'1" guard, Arizona State. I know a lot of people are just fired up about it. I mean, I'm, where I am on these things. Feels like a good recruit. I mean, until you see him come down the ramp in a pair of shorts, right?
Yeah, once you officially get that game situation going. I'm interested to see what he brings to the table. I'm reading a lot of stuff about him last year. You're talking about a kid that's a 4-star recruit locally out of Arizona. Teammates thought really highly of him last year, especially with what he brought on the defensive end, his athleticism, because they say everyone compared him to his dad, Eddie House, a bucket getter, an igniter, a microwave scorer, and yet Jalen House really, in his first 2 years at Arizona State, made his name defensively because his opportunity wasn't the dude that's going to have the basketball in his hands all the time to get out there and score. So he really made a mark on that end with his athleticism, with the way he played defensively, and he showed the signs of becoming a good scorer, becoming a good lead guard. And I think he actually was one of the transfers. I was reading through it, some of the stuff from Arizona State that surprised them. They were expecting big things from Jalen House with the players that they were losing just to the draft and graduation, and he was one of the players that caught that team and that fan base by surprise. That was in a transfer portal, so I think he's a very intriguing guard for Richard Pitino to bring in, see what he can do next year.
A lot of experience in his lineage, right? His dad was just a baller. His dad could score. He played in high school for Mike Bibby, former NBA guy. And coming out of high school, he was ranked as high as number 3 prep player in Arizona. So it feels like, JJ, again, it feels like you got a point guard, right? It feels like you've got to start a cornerstone. And as things start to settle, as players start to find where it is they want to play for at least the next season, this sounds like a good get for them. You know where I am. I never get ridiculously overexcited about transfers until I see them. Some work, some don't. But this feels like it's a kid who's not going a long way from home, coming over from Arizona. You've had success with Arizona players before. And a guy who has a lot of potential, a lot of lineage, and by every account, a guy that I think Arizona State wanted to keep.
Oh, absolutely. It sounds like this is definitely a player that it caught them by surprise when he decided to enter the transfer portal and leave, just because of the turnover that they had, just in terms of graduation. Guys going to the NBA, Josh Christopher, who was a one-and-done player for Arizona State. So the road opened for a role for Jalen House on the Arizona State basketball team, but he decided to start anew, and he chose the University of New Mexico. It came down to Grand Canyon and UNM for House, and decided to go to the Pit.
All right. The other, so we didn't really get into this yesterday. I don't know why this was a story, and maybe it wasn't. Byron Matos is not working out with the Lobos. And when I saw that, I'm like, well, of course he's not. He's in the transfer portal. And I saw some social media stuff. Well, why wouldn't he be working out while he's still here? Because he's in the transfer portal. He's being actively recruiting. He's posting daily about the offers which he is receiving, which I believe, JJ, the latest was Oklahoma State. Washington State's in there. East Tennessee, South Florida, there's a bunch of them. Tulsa. Of course he's not practicing. Like, why was there even some sort of intrigue? Why would that be a question? Why would Byron Matos, who's in the transfer portal, be working out with the Lobos?
To me, I don't see how that's like, wow, he's not working out. It's just, are these guys around? And Rich Pitino's like, they're not. They're in the transfer portal. So they're not around the team right now. We thought that was the best situation. And to that you say, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, to me it did. I guess we'll hear a final decision on McQuatch Malwatch. I'd be surprised. Nothing will stun me, I don't think, at this point, but I'd be surprised if McQuatch comes back.
I would be as well. I think just look at what he's done in his tenure, a true 4-year player that developed into the fan favorite that everyone has been looking for. And you just don't know where he is just overall. Is he ready to try to go play basketball maybe back in Australia, or any opportunity that arises overseas? It's tough because that's a grind, man. What those guys went through last year, and then to put in 4 years, and I think it's a tough sell too, because for Malawatch, you're like, all right, am I coming back to win? Am I coming back just to come back? Like, what is it going to look like next year?
Yeah, no, what am I coming back for? It might end up being the leading scorer in the history of the program with 5 full years. I don't know how close he is to that. To your point, what is it you're coming back for? Do you think you're going to win? How much of a part would he play? I would believe that Richard Pitino would like to have a guy like that back. I haven't talked to him about it. I don't know how much he's familiar with McQuatch as the person. I think that's the one solid. JJ, you can find holes in his game. It's pretty hard to find holes in him in the person. And I think if he sat around and talked to McQuatch, to have a leader like that, a guy that can somewhat help transition this thing, that would be wonderful. I see zero negatives for Lobo basketball. to bring McQuatch back. It's what's in it for him. Where does he want to go with his life? Does he want to do this again, run it back, and where is he academically? Where is he in his life? But as far as basketball, I got to believe if he wants to come back, Richard Pitino finds a spot for him, right?
Oh, 100%. Like that's a home run. That's one of the best recruits that you'll sign in the next few years, being able to bring back a fifth-year player with that kind of experience, that leadership. I thought McQuatch was fantastic last year. Yeah. And the limited opportunities that we had to speak with players. When we talked with McQuatch, he was a leader. He handled things well. He spoke honestly about the team, the situation. And there's no question the type of player he is that he developed into, that it would be a home run if you somehow were able to keep him around for one more year.
Yeah. Do you think he's coming back? Because I don't. And I don't know why I think that. I don't know him. I haven't talked to him. I don't know him well. But my gut tells me just after what went down, he's going to move on with his life. But I just tell you that based on gut.
Yeah, I'm there with you in this situation. It's not that I don't think Malawatch wouldn't be excited to be a Lobo again. It's just you look at some point you're going to have to move on. Now, you wonder how many guys look at this opportunity and just embrace it, going, this doesn't happen, to actually be, in this case, like a 5-year player. It's not a redshirt year, not a medical injury in there. It's just to come back and play one more year of college basketball. How much would that mean to him? To potentially do it in a building where there's at least fans in attendance, because you look at, Jaden De La Cerda, Antonio Anderson, they made that decision on the women's side, but then they also won a regular season Mountain West championship. And so there's different feeling there. So it is, I think, a tough decision for a player, because you put in your 4 years. That's kind of what your mindset is. You're like, all right, I'm locked in, go to college for 4 years and see what happens next. And all of a sudden you have this opportunity to come back. It's really intriguing to see what kind of things you go through trying to make that decision.
That'll play out over the next however long he wants it to play it out. All right, when we come back, New Mexico State announced 3 signings yesterday, including 2 transfers from who have played in Power Conference schools. What that means for the Aggies and where we're going with that. 505-246-0610. That's how to get up to us today. 505-246-0610. Emails come in. Jeff at sportsanimal@abq.com. JJ at sportsanimal@abq.com. Watch the show on the Facebook, The OD in the AM. Aaron's producing for ProView Networks there, and Bobcat producing on the radio side. We're talking about the Aggie signings. 9 o'clock this morning, Warren Schaefer is scheduled to be with us. He's the Isotopes manager as we get closer and closer to opening day for Albuquerque's AAA baseball team. It's the opening drive on a Friday on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Little sports analysis, pop culture.
Long ball played, top of the 18. Morgan's there, one-on-one with the keeper, and that opens the scoring. Rachel Morgan, the senior, finds the back of the net, and it's 1-0 St. Mike's.
Oliveris for 3, yes.
Well, I like that young man.
Good transition opportunity for the Bulldogs. Deep three's up, and it's good by number 11, Annika Reed.
Rowe gets it, boots it forward. Myers is there, she's able to head it, and she controls. Dugan's there, she's at the center, gets across, shoots, and scores! Hello! What can you say there? Hello! And that is Alexa Duggan, who goes across the body.
There. Gonzalez going to get all the way to the basket here on the window with the extra kiss, and it's good for Gonzalez.
left-footed shot. Morgan! 3-0. And that is a brace for Rachel Morgan, the senior from St. Michael's. Underneath for Alter, tries the slam and does it. So in two.
Here comes the pressure. Hasbury takes it away and sends it in.
There's a top 10 play right there, I can tell you that.
The last-ditch effort for the Wildcats. They are cornered right now. That ball goal! It's the long goal from Contreras! Holy cow! Luke Contreras absolutely launched that ball.
Transfer season? I don't know. Everybody's in the portal. Lobos get a guard, Jalen House from Arizona State. New Mexico State signed 3, or at least announced 3 new players yesterday. One of them, Nate Pryor, comes from the University of Washington. It'll be his second NCAA Division I institution. He spent last year at Washington, played at College of Northern Idaho before that. He 1 year with the Huskies, played in 16 of their 26 games, 4.1 points a game, 1.6 assists, played a little over 17 minutes a game. He's from Seattle, double digits in the scoring column 3 times through the course of last season, and he is going to play in Las Cruces. Chris Jan says that they've known Nate Pryor for a while. They've been big fans of his. They recruited him, and they knew him when he was at North Idaho. Good size, love for the game, and they're excited to get him. So the Aggies get a guard from the Pac-12 as well. It'll be interesting to see how this all plays out, right? It's the opening drive, Jeff Siembieda and J.J. Buck. The Aggies also signed 2 other players. They get a gentleman named Mario McKinney, who played previously. Well, and JJ, before I go on, Nate Pryor from Washington, 6'4", a big guard, a guy that Chris Jan says they knew when he was at JUCO in North Idaho, and this will be the 3rd institution for him, 2nd Division I. Sounds like a guard he played 17 and a half minutes a game at Washington, played in 16 of their 26 games last year. It sounds like a guard with size that they're planning on getting a lot of minutes out of.
And with the 2 guards, I'm interested in the fact that they've played. They were both JUCO guys before Missouri and Washington came into the fold. So that they have some experience. They haven't just been on a bench or not getting some minutes. So I think that's going to be key, is at least those guys had some run. And you just mentioned what Pryor did, 17 and a half minutes. Washington getting some of that Pac-12 experience this past season. I'm intrigued by the guards as we continue to talk about them, but it's the big guy that caught my attention.
Yeah, we're going to get there in a minute, because I agree with you on that, and it really feels like a pattern for them. The other guard is Mario McKinney, played at Missouri, then went to JUCO last year, John A. Logan College in Illinois, where he was the leading scorer for that conference. He put up 18.4 points a game. Aggressive. Chris Jan says he's solid all-around player. 7 of the 9 games he played, a short season at John A. Logan College, he scored more than 12 points, 21 points in his debut. So a guy that this feels more like a scorer, and it feels like a brand-new backcourt for Chris Jans and the Aggies. Backcourt that both played at the power, what would they call, I guess we call it too, right? Power conference level, in a brand-new backcourt.
And they need it. That was one of the most disappointing things about the Aggies last year.
I agree.
Is their lack of shot creation and then shooting. They've been good, and then they play tremendous defense, and that's been kind of the Aggies' identity under Chris Jans. But they were really disappointing a lot of times when it came to their consistency. So many games shooting in the low 30%, below 30% from 3, and while just you kind of saw that at the very end. When Grand Canyon got them, and they weren't the same defensive team defensively. You need that offense to step it up. and it wasn't there for New Mexico State. So you see that with two of these signings really attacking the pack court. We know what Christian's going to ask. The team still is going to play tough. It's defensive first because it's going to put you in position to win those games, and then you got to start developing that offense and two intriguing guards. Much like we were talking with House and the Lobos, you've seen a little bit, but now it's what all these players hoping is their time to fully get that opportunity as a big-time part of a rotation.
All right, the other signee may take a year or two or three. The Aggies have had a lot of success over the years with international big men. You go to, Pascal Siakam, Ivan Aure-Coechea, and now it's Jorge Moreno, 6'10". He comes from Mexico. He just finished up his prep basketball career in San Antonio. He played at Strength in Motion International. He played soccer. He's only played basketball for 3 years. He is 6'10", and they're saying he's raw. Look, you can teach a guy to play basketball. You can teach him to rebound, shoot, and block out and play defense. You can't teach him to be 6'10". And so this feels like an opportunity. May work, may not. But why not in Christian's case here? And they've had a lot of success with international big guys.
Yeah, and this is super intriguing. Talk about such a young player, as you mentioned, pretty much played basketball for 3 years, because you get to 6'10", that does take you a little bit out of continuing probably soccer. And so that's what I would be interested, like how much soccer did he play? Was it just, hey, it's a passion of mine, I like soccer? Did he play high school soccer? Did he play prep soccer? Because that would lead me to believe he's got some footwork. And that is always the first place you want to start with the young, raw, big guys. There's nowhere for you to going, nowhere to get your body, how to act inside. And so if he was a solid soccer player, leads me to believe he's got some good footwork, and that's a positive. And then you start refining everything else that goes with being a post player.
3 years is what he's been playing. He got to be 6'10", to your point, and the head coach of the Mexican under-18 team wanted him, developed him. A lot of basketball prep academies and college basketball programs in the United States were after him. Chris said, this is a quote from Chris Jans on Jorge Moreno. Quote, Jorge possesses a huge upside, and his potential makes him an exciting player to coach. It's hard to believe he's only been playing organized basketball for 3 years. Coach Mark Reed's Strength and Motion International staff have done a tremendous job of developing and providing a platform for him. He's a welcome addition to New Mexico State on and off the floor, end quote. Look, I think we've seen plenty of times, big bodies sometimes don't pan out, and sometimes they do. If you see a guy with raw talent and you think you can develop him, and look, I go back to Wendell McKinnis, and I know he wasn't a big, but he played like one. I think he was, 6'6", but played and led the whack and rebounding. I go back to Pascal Siakam. I go back to Ivan Aure-Coechea, and I'll even go Johnny McCants. The development of their bigs. Johnny McCants from his freshman year to this last year was, right, night and day. I mean, it was kind of Daniel Ferris-ish for the Lobos. Became, a guy that was there, was local, was a big body that gave you a few minutes, to a guy that really contributed in a big way to your success.
Yeah, and the track record's been there. I can even go back before that, and I like the opportunity to bring the young guy a chance to develop, because we're always talking about what's the game going to look like. Are you going to get an opportunity? Well, here is what you have to do. Christian's, these three guys, a perfect example. Got some JUCO experience, a little bit of D1 to mix in there, a couple of guys you expect to be quicker on the get up when it comes to coming in and contributing to your basketball team, and the ability to bring in a young man to develop that has a ton of potential. That's young, raw at 6'10", with the game of basketball. And if you could develop into an impact player, potential all-conference type of player, you've done something really good there.
Yeah. So there you go. Aggie fan, Lobo fan, come on in. Lobos signed Jalen House, 6'1" guard out of Arizona State. Aggies signed Nate Pryor, 6'4" guard out of Washington. Mario McKinney, 6'2" guard who played at Missouri and John A. Logan Junior College. And then a 6'10" center freshman from Mexico, Jorge Moreno. So, look, do you like the transfer portal? You like it when it yields you players, right? You hate it when your guys go into it. And I think we'll hear, did Byron Matos put a number? Was it next week? He made a date, whatever it was. He was going to announce where he's going on the Twitter. He's announcing, posting all of his offers. I don't see him. And again, this is me not knowing him or anything else. Do you see him coming back?
No, I don't see. No. You know, when you're getting courted once again, and you got all these teams loving you, sending your offers, you're posting all these things about power conference programs, I don't expect Byron Matos to be a Lobo.
Nor do I. All right. One other thing, college basketball. I know we'll get into the transfer rule and everything as we did yesterday. The NCAA yesterday placed USC, a team that went to the Elite Eight this year, put their men's basketball team on 2 years probation. This was a result of that whole all this stuff that you've been seeing, the FBI, the HBO stuff. Tony Bland, the former New Mexico Thunderbird, right? Albuquerque Thunderbird. He was on that championship team that won the championship, accepting bribes to steer players towards certain managers. And so SC, this is what's crazy to me. How do you find a program like USC $5,000? Doesn't that feel like a dress code fine for a JUCO coach? With all due respect, and I'm not telling you should have thrown the book at him. I'm not telling you you're not. $5,000 plus 1% of the men's program, the basketball budget. The NCAA accepted recruiting restrictions that the school had previously imposed upon itself. So the 2 years probation, JJ, this is not a postseason ban. Mm-hmm. This is, you're on probation. Don't do it again. We're watching. Oh, give us $5,000, which $5,000 falls out of their sneakers. And 1%, no, I'm going to assume 1% of the basketball budget is somewhat significant. I'm going to guess their basketball budget, JJ, is somewhere in the area of what, $15 to $20 million for basketball?
Yeah.
All right, so what, $1.5, $2 million? $5,000. Where does that?
Yeah, that's actually something that I like from the NCAA, because then that shows you that the 1% is going to be more for the bigger teams, so they're not coming down.
No, I'm down with that.
So I think that's one of the rare things. Like, you know what, that makes a ton of sense. But it shows you anytime you might have had an oopsie or an self-imposed sanctions. Say, hey, we're going to not call recruits on Saturdays. Hey, we're not going to go recruiting in May. And somebody's going to be like, you know what? Okay, I'm cool with that. Do whatever you can to avoid that postseason ban.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Do that, because I think, who else did it? Was it Kansas or Oklahoma State? And Oklahoma State did it this year, but then they realized they had Cade Cunningham and said, "Well, wait a minute. We're not going to give
it." They did it. Yeah, they said we won't play in the postseason because they're looking at the year. They're like COVID. They're like, this would be the year to take it. Oh, Cade Cunningham is coming to school. You know what? We're going to appeal this.
Yeah, never mind is kind of what they said. Never mind. This was, if you don't remember, Tony Bland, again, former Thunderbird. He won a championship here in Albuquerque. He was one of four former assistant coaches charged in these federal criminal cases which involved bribery in college basketball. He reached a plea agreement with federal prosecutors back in 2018. Then in June of 19, a district court judge sentenced him to 100 hours of community service and 2 years probation. So he, in this case, was given a 3-year show cause order from the NCAA, during which what that means is any school who wants to employ him must restrict him from any athletically related duties unless it shows cause why the restriction should not apply. So essentially Tony's out for 3 years in this whole thing, and SC's ready to move forward. I think SC would gladly accept this. No postseason ban, especially for a program that's at the Elite 8 level now. It's going to cost him, what, $1.5 million, $2 million to make this thing go away. They got that money. And move on.
It's just that nothing to see here. We good.
So Arizona and them have kind of gotten the fallout, right? Arizona finally fired Sean Miller. Kansas, Oklahoma State, Auburn.
And it's one where you're like, Arizona's better for it.
I think that might be right.
Like, not just, we fired him because, I think Tommy Lloyd moving forward is going to do much better at Arizona than Sean Miller did.
No. Sean Miller did a hell of a job over the long term there. He did a really nice job last couple of years with this cloud under him. You don't think so?
Not with what you have available and being Arizona. Like, oh, cool, you got to the NCAA tournament. What have you done?
What do you have more than anybody else in that league has besides tradition, which we determined yesterday is quite
They should be right there doing what USC is doing what Oregon is doing.
And
I wasn't that impressed by Sean Miller.
Yeah, and they're not now. 505-246-0610 is how to get to us. 888-922-0610. The opening drive on the Sports Animal.
Are you trying to figure out when and where you're going to work out? It's the end of the week, and I'm sure you're excited for the weekend, but have you been excited for yourself? Have you been able to focus on fitness? I myself took a redshirt year. We were dealing with a whole heck of a lot, and then when things start happening again, work, school, kiddos, you get busy, and there's certain things you put on the back burner. If you've put your fitness on the back burner, it's time to change that. And let me tell you about F45 Functional Fitness. It gives you high-intensity training in a 45-minute class. So take control of your fitness now and check out F45training.com and download the F45 app. The app has the week's schedule on it, classes 7 days a week that come in clutch for me, those Saturday and Sunday classes with the busy stuff that's going on. You're going to see what the class is all about, and it's a new class every day to keep you focused and excited for the new challenge ahead that your mind and body is going to face. F45 Training has certified trainers at every class to help motivate and modify if needed. The atmosphere is great, and with no wasted time in the 45-minute session, your full focus is going to be on getting the best workout that you can in that manageable time frame. You can do it, and F45 is here for your full body functional fitness workout. Check them out at F45training.com. Download the F45 app. You can sign up for your 7-day free trial. Team training, life-changing. I'll see you at F45.
Think your property taxes are too high? Find out.
And Kumar takes the shot, and that is it. We didn't make it an entire minute into this overtime before Oliver Kumar delivered the winning score. Look at those boys celebrate down there, dogpiling on top of number 6.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
DCE Systems want to help schools reopen and keep the students, teachers, and staff safe. We can also help every business reopen and keep their employees and customers safe as well. Don't just disinfect. Novalent antimicrobial technology provides ongoing residual protection against bacteria and viruses and is proven to last up to 90 days. That's right, up to 90 days. Call us today at 505-507-7722 or go to DCESystemsInc.com to learn more. DCE Systems are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Animal.
Bobcat, is it all right that we call you Bobcat on this show, or is that only for the house?
He does not have a copyright on it.
Well, that's probably right. I know I tried the Robert Cat, which probably only I like, which really doesn't matter because I'll do what I like. Ken says that there's a new nickname for Bobcat needed. He says, Jeff, way back in the day, I was a DJ at a small town 500-watt radio station. During the day on AM, I was Ken. But at night on the FM, where the signal was only like 50 watts and barely got out of the parking lot, I was Dr. Love. Bobcat should only be used in the house. On this show, he should be something like Duke or Buzzy. That's from Ken.
Well, when I started in this business way back when in Garden City, Kansas, I went by Bob Hill.
Bob Hill.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Bobcat's solid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
So
I
solid.
like it.
All right, then we're going to use it. And Ken, I appreciate your suggestion, but we're discarding it. I mean,
Good to pass up.
You did say you do what you like.
Well, yeah, but in this case, I want to do what you like because
I'm
it's
fine
your
with
name,
it.
right?
I'm fine with it.
All right.
Just not late for dinner or
That's right.
something that can't be said in mixed company.
We'll just start
No, I
calling
don't
him
even
like
mind that.
Jim for the heck of it. Just,
Yeah, there you go.
Jim Cat?
Jim Cat. Exactly.
It doesn't
Bobcat.
have the ring to it.
All right. You okay with Robert Cat?
Yeah, I'm fine with that too.
All right. Well, we'll get there. And by the time we get there, then you'll be out.
He'll be gone.
Yeah, exactly. You'll be gone.
I thought I was doing a good
Ron
job
wants
for
to
you.
know. What's that?
I thought I was doing a good job for you.
You're
want
doing
me
a
out
great
already.
job. I just know how it works. Every time someone around here is doing a great job on this show, they're out of here.
Well, I'll be around.
All right. Well, I hope so. JJ Ron said, best in Major League Baseball with 2 question marks. Are the Dodgers that good, Jeff? Or are they the beneficiaries of a very soft schedule so far? I think they've played nothing but last place clubs.
Ooh.
We'll find out this weekend.
Let's go.
And I hear Fernando
Eating
Tatis.
cupcakes. Getting fat on cupcakes.
That's right. You get a little doughy, a little content. Sweep of the Rockies was finished last night. It's so weird watching those games. And Drew Goodman gets so excited on these solo home runs, and the Rockies were up 2-0, and you never felt they were going to win. And then Justin Turner comes up and hits a 3-run bomb and didn't break the nachos this time. By the way, has there been a better highlight this baseball season than the dude who caught the home run ball with his nachos and the cheese splattered all over him the other day? A dude wouldn't clean himself, and his girlfriend, wife, lady friend, whatever she was sitting there with that disgusted but kind of happy posing look, didn't know what to do. Dude was a rock star with nacho cheese food all over him. But he had the baseball. That's my favorite highlight of the season.
It was
Better than no-hitter.
a reminder of times from the past, what once was, the nasty things we always did at baseball games that I absolutely love. A baseball falls into your nachos, and you continue to eat it. You catch a foul ball in your beer, and you immediately chug said beer. It was a throwback moment.
It was good. I know when. I think it's always been. I think the question is why? Why is catching a foul ball, why is catching a home run such a big deal?
I get it.
Now, I get it when it's those balls that are worth a lot of money. You know, Barry Bonds' 70th home, whatever. But a foul ball that dudes will steal from little children. I mean, I've got a bunch of they're baseballs, dude. They're baseballs. You can buy one for $5.
Were they baseballs that might have been touched by your favorite reliever?
Yeah.
Yancy Almonte.
See?
How about that?
That's a good point. Look at you shaking your head like that.
No, it's because you can't do it. It's the only sport you can leave with something from the game itself, other than being struck by a golf ball, where the guy's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, let me just autograph this for you." After I just hit you in the back of the head.
But he gives you a different one because he's got to play that one where it lies. So he's got to give you a different one.
It's like you're not leaving like an NBA game with a basketball.
Yeah, that's true.
You get like, oh, here's my headband. I just sweated in for 48 minutes, thrown at you.
Yeah. And if that lands in your nachos and you eat it, that's on you. I guess that's right, huh? There's no other game where you leave with something that was in the game. But it's even batting practice balls, right? Foul balls, like it's always amazed me, and it's cool to catch one. Do you ever get one?
I think I've had like one actual like foul ball from a Dukes game back in the day.
Back in when I was a kid, my dad fumbled one at the All-Star game at Dodger Stadium. Just fumbled one. It was a lap. Kind of looked at him like, really, man? Nice hands. And then of all the games I've been to, and I've been, what is this, 18 years at Isotopes Park? Had the seats in the club level behind home plate. You would think that would be foul ball territory. Years ago, I took a call. I was talking to my daughter, and I went and sat in some seats 3 sections over, so kind of on the first base side, and happened to be walking and one-handed a foul ball. That's the only time. Found one in the parking lot, and walk it out of there. But that's the only 2 times I've ever walked out with a ball.
And I think that's why. It's like we see it all day, every day, watching baseball games. But the amount of baseball games all of us has been to, and how many foul balls have we gotten? And I think for some reason, there's still that element, that attraction to it. Even a foul ball. I get a home run ball. That's pretty cool. Just caught a shot from someone. But even just a foul ball going in the stands, that's why people are crazy. Like, oh, I get something out of this. $250 tickets and I got a foul ball.
Yeah. Watch the home run contest, right? At the All-Star game. Dudes out there with grown men with their gloves, and you got a ball, bro. Batting practice. Back in the day, I don't know, I'm sure they still do it. People get out early and go out for batting practice and sit out over the left field wall, and they get balls. I understand even less. And I asked John Traub this a couple of years ago. Why is it that if a ball touches the dirt, it is no longer playable in the big leagues? You got every ball that's in the dirt touches, it didn't even get scuffed. It might have fallen out of your glove, the catcher. Umpire reaches in and throws a new ball and throws that one out. When did that happen?
I don't know.
Yeah. Remember playing Little League? The balls you used to play with? Like, damn.
Yeah. It's like dents in them.
Yes.
You're lucky if it was round. You're like, oh, this is pretty good baseball. I'll take this one.
Yeah, a couple threads are falling off the
Put
seams.
this in my bag.
Yes. I don't understand it, but the baseball thing is amazing to me. I remember we got a couple upstairs. It's got to be 4 years ago on Cinco de Mayo. Alex Bregman told Daddy and my nephew at the New Mexico Bowl 5 years ago that, hey, when we come to Anaheim, you call your Uncle Jeff and we'll get you down. Well, sure enough, Alex did. It was my mom's 80th birthday, and they were playing the Angels, and Alex got the kids and all of us down on the field for batting practice, and he came over and took pictures, and he gave each of the kids a ball and signed it and brought all the dudes over to sign their ball. And that seems kind of cool, right? Just that was cool. That was a dude gave it to you. That was different,
Autograph,
right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. She still has that upstairs. But yeah, that's it's a baseball, man. It's crazy. And I don't know, is an NFL football feel the same way? Would you like to have that as much as you'd like to have a Major League Baseball?
I think that'd be cool, but they come and get that from you. You can't run away with those things. And you should just catch it and just leave, like immediately. Exit the game.
Yeah. All right, 505-246-0610. How do you get in? What's I've always loved those stories too. I always hear I caught foul ball stories, or someone took one away from me. if you want to get in on those, you can absolutely. Hey, who's watching your home? Do you have home security? I do. It's IPS, International Protective Service. They've watched my home for years. There's a chance you signed up for home or business security with another company, a local company who promised armed response, and there's a good chance that company has been bought and sold twice, and now your security is in the hands of a company from Texas, and that's not what you signed up for. You don't have to have that. Make the switch over to IPS, International Protective Service. Their owner, Aaron Jones, is from Albuquerque. He's not going anywhere. He's passionate about providing protection for your home, family, and business that you've worked hard to build. Look, IPS has highly trained, armed guards who watch what's important to you when you can't be there. 24-hour patrols, armed officers who usually respond to your home alarm within 5 to 7 minutes. That's protection. Trust your protection to a local company who's passionate about making our city a safer place to live and work. International Protective Service, IPS, 505-897-2420, 505-897-2420, or visit them online at ipsglobal.com.
Here at Legacy, we are here to disciple people by helping them connect with God, grow in relationships, and live generously.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened? Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Car Crafters is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
A rogue virus. No jobs. Sky-high tuition debt. Life is trying to put our generation on the sidelines. But we refuse to just sit back and watch it pass us by. Instead, watch us fly ahead. Watch us overcome anything. Watch us rise. Watch us change our world. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
Datacom is the manufacturer's representative for the states of Arizona and New Mexico. Datacom represents Fuji Electric for uninterruptible power systems and Layer 0 for static switches and power distribution units. High-Tech Power Protection manufactures dynamic rotary UPS systems up to 3.6 megawatts, individual and 100 megawatts by combining multiple units. Call Louis Ruffin today at 505-507-7722 or go to datacom.com to learn more.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Calling all football players, are you looking to develop your skills this season? It's never too late or too early to put in the work. Coach Carl Barrere and the Air Barrere program at 8 Grady's Performance Center provide comprehensive position training for aspiring football players at all levels. Whether you're looking to increase your speed, gain strength, or hone your skill, we train all positions with a team of experienced coaches who know what it takes to succeed at all levels from Yaffle to college. Check us out at 8gradys.com to learn more and sign up for training today.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your
green. And keep the community green as well. Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment. You trash it, we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
Next in line.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
At New Mexico Highlands University, you're more than a student, you're family. Whether you're taking courses in Las Vegas, Santa Fe, Rio Rancho, Albuquerque, or Farmington, you'll get that one-on-one attention to inspire you to reach your goals. Let New Mexico Highlands help take your passion and accelerate it into a career and fulfilling life path. Find out why New Mexico Highlands is the right choice for you. Log on to NewMexicoHighlands.com today.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant.
Go, please.
Opening drive here on 95.9 FM AM 610, the sports animal.
Bob?
JJ Buck. Jeff, we hear you, Jeff. We do hear you, but you can't hear us, apparently, at this point in time, which is super unfortunate, so we will figure that out. So I'm going to buy Jeff Siembieda a new headset. Gosh, darn it. Let's get this thing figured out. It's been a rough week. His laptop is not back from vacation as of yet. We continue to roll on here on the opening drive as we awkwardly hear Jeff, but he can't hear us, so hopefully nothing comes through. So, Bobcat, if you have the ability to mute Jeff, it might be a good time to do that at this point in time. So, as we're looking forward to the weekend, Mountain West Conference Final tomorrow night, New Mexico and San Diego State, 7:30 at the UNM Soccer Complex. Can you hear us? No.
No, I just muted him.
Okay. Can you thumbs up if you can hear us, Jeff? Because he's trying to talk now, but I don't know if he can hear us. This is a disaster occurring.
He's trying to
live on
talk. I can see that.
Okay. Can you hear us? All right. Well, we'll continue just this segment. Final few minutes before we hit the top of the hour. But yesterday, I had an opportunity to interview San Diego State head coach Mike Friesen as the Aztecs are coming in from the other side. It's just good to see the energy, the support surrounding this game, or an event that we can all go to. Now, of course, still limited capacity at the UNM Soccer Complex, but coming off of the state soccer tournament, seeing the energy around that, now being able to pick it up for a Mountain West Conference final. Now, it's not a championship game, but yet they're giving out championship hats and T-shirts, but just due to the way they set up the season, they're just calling this a conference final. It's the same exact thing. That's what you're getting. Winner goes to the NCAA tournament. The NCAA tournament, a little bit smaller, 48-team field this year for soccer, both the men's and women's tournaments being played in North Carolina, as we've seen, kind of just get that bubble-like atmosphere to get your tournament in. But this is going to be fantastic. Yesterday, Heather Dyke was named Mountain West Coach of the Year, a rightful honor for her. And you look at the first team Lobos: Gwen Malley, Emily Johnson, Alexa Curtin, Carly Mays, and Jaden Edwards. And then freshman Paige Satterley was named to the all-newcomer team in the conference. And you flip that with San Diego State, who's bringing in the Mountain West Offensive Player of the Year in Chloe Frisch, newcomer of the year and a Tui, a transfer from New Mexico State. This is going to be fantastic soccer. Two really good teams. Really, of course, the toughest test for the Lobos to this point in the season, and I've just been really happy about the reaction to this game throughout the week. I'm really excited to be a part of it. If you can't get out to UNM Soccer Complex, so for the first time on one of the broadcasts, we're having a pregame show with pregame coaches interviews just on the Mountain West Network. So I was able to record one with Heather Dyke this week, talked with Mike Friesen yesterday, so we're going to play that a part of the broadcast and just try to help give this game the attention that it deserves for the Mountain West Conference Final in an odd year where most of these teams didn't think they were going to get to play at any point in time. So you have the 2020 season in the 2021 spring setting us up moving forward. Yeah, it's Albuquerque. So what happens? Spring hits. It's 75 one weekend, then it might be 50 and windy the next weekend. But if you're looking to watch the game, it will be available on the Mountain West Network. And, of course, get out to UNM Soccer Complex, bundle up, get yourself some hand warmers with an NCAA tournament berth on the line between the Aztecs and Lobos tomorrow night at 7:30. The Quan's Auto Care hotline is 24606. Sending to email the show. Jeff is still here. Looking at him. Going to work on getting things figured out in this break. Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com. JJ at sportsanimалabq.com, as we finally had some news yesterday with both men's basketball programs down in Las Cruces. They added 3 players to the roster. Jalen House, the Arizona State transfer with 3 years of eligibility remaining, played his freshman and sophomore seasons at Arizona State. His dad was a bucket getter, Eddie House. But things you like to hear about Jalen House coming over from Arizona State is, he really started to make his mark on that team defensively. They had some players where they're not asking Jalen House to go out there and score. So how is he going to make his mark? It was the energy, it was his effort, it was defensive performance. He obviously has the skill set, being a 4-star recruit coming out of high school at Arizona State. Can you hear us, Jeff? No, he still cannot hear us, so we'll get that figured out here in a second, as we're talking about. And the first official addition for head coach Richard Pitino and this roster, I'm intrigued. And the guards that we're seeing coming in, both levels, looking for that bigger opportunity, that chance to blossom. And you read the stuff coming in about Jalen House, what his teammates said about him. And his teammates said those things, his energy, his defensive intensity. So that absolutely stands out. A good place to start for Richard Pitino and Lobo basketball. We keep it rolling here on the opening drive. The crew is here. Work to do to figure it all out. JJ Buck, Jeff Siembieda, Bobcat, AA Ron on the ProView side here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Plan your adventure at WNMU.edu.
Hi, I'm Staff Sergeant Hayes. I'm with the New Mexico Army National Guard, and I'm from Tucson, Arizona.
Hi, I'm Staff Sergeant Greg Martinez. I'm with the New Mexico Army National Guard, and I'm from Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Hi, I'm Marilena Fernandez. I'm with the New Mexico Army National Guard, and I'm from Santa Fe, New Mexico.
The New Mexico Army National Guard is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school athletics.
Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck, Micah. Josh produces for you today over on the ProView Network side, where you can watch the show worldwide on ProViewNetworks.com or statewide podcast channel 26.
Hey, welcome to the Steve Davis Show.
Good morning and welcome to Sports Desk Live on Comcast Channel 26.
Welcome to The Point with Nick Rich.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 10, America Talking Out.
I'm Pastor Flora Padilla of Mending Broken Hearts.
Welcome to Henry T. Game Face Live, Comcast 26, and Big Bad ProView Network.
Often imitated, never duplicated. Welcome to Local Focus with Sebastian Noel.
Welcome, sports fans. It's that time of the week again. You are watching the Weekly Rundown.
Hey, welcome to Red Menace TV here on ProView Network.
Hello, I'm Steve Davis. You are watching Public Access TV.
Played, top of the 18. Morgan's there, one-on-one with the keeper, and that opens the scoring. Rachel Morgan, the senior, finds the back of the net, and it's 1-0 St. Mike's.
Oliveras for 3, yes.
Well, I like that young man.
Good transition opportunity for the Bulldogs. Deep three's up, and it's good by number 11, Annika Reed.
Rowe gets it, boots it forward. Myers is there, she's able to head it, and she can throw it. Dugan's there, she's at the center, gets across, shoots, and scores! Hello! What can you say there? Hello! And that is Alexa Duggan, who goes across the body.
There. Gonzalez going to get all the way to the basket here. Out the window with the extra kiss, and it's good for Gonzalez.
That ball played to the top of the 18. Morgan. Nice turn. Morgan, left-footed shot. Morgan! 3-0. And that is a brace for Rachel Morgan, the senior from St. Michael's.
Well, as we roll along on this Friday morning, trying to get to the end of our work week, it's been a little bit of an interesting ride here on the opening drive. JJ Buck, Jeff Siembieda, Bobcat, AA Ron. You're going to talk with Warren Schaefer coming up at 9 a.m. The Isotopes manager, as they're getting ever closer to opening this season. This week as well, you're seeing some things come out from the Isotopes, how they're going to handle things. 25% capacity. Get yourself back in that ballpark. And maybe, yes, a chance to catch a foul ball. Even a home run ball this season. Opportunity that we did not have last year. So we're talking about why is it so interesting? Why does it matter so much? When you don't have the opportunity, when something is taken away from you, you're going to enjoy it maybe just a little bit more. So I'm looking forward to talking with Warren Schaefer coming up at 9 a.m. The Isotopes manager who has never been able to manage a game for the Albuquerque Isotopes to his side. And, of course, what we saw happen last year. So he was working a lot at the alternate site last year for the Rockies. That's where the Isotopes have been training once spring training wrapped up. They've been at the alternate site up there in Denver. And, boy, they're going to have a lot of work to do with that Colorado Rockies franchise. So a lot of young guys going to have an opportunity to earn some spots in the next year or two up in the big leagues. Jeff Siembieda back with us. What's up, man?
I don't know, man. I can't wait until, I know you can, I can't wait till we're allowed back in the building. We're actually doing this stuff there, to be honest with you. Sorry about that. Sorry about disappearing.
It's, what can you do, man? Your laptop is still on vacation. And you've tried your darndest, I know.
Man, I was good. Somebody hit some buttons. Maybe it was me. All right, what are you talking about, dude? I'm kind of curious. I was watching you. I was watching you talk.
Like, watch, you know, what he's going. Where's he going? No, I just kind of, wrapped up some of the stuff we talked about player-wise in terms of the Aggies and Lobos. And then just reset and looking at the foul ball conversation. As we're gonna have Warren Schaefer on coming up at 9 a.m. I'm like,
how are we gonna do that?
We can have him on the phone and you there. Yeah, it's like when we take calls and you've been on the phone. It's a situation too when something has been taken away from you, you're gonna enjoy it that much more. And getting back inside Isotopes Park for the fans, being able to catch that first foul ball, seeing that taco race. I think you can still have taco races, right? They're pretty much in a giant mask anyway, wearing the suit. Just get back out there, have that energy, have that fun once again. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, and there'll be less people to battle with, right? 25% capacity, so less people to battle for that ball with. That ball that's sitting
Better
there in
odds.
that seat, it's just you and that little kid.
Better odds.
Let the kid have it. Brian, good morning. You're on the Quans Auto line. Hello, Brian.
Hey, good morning, Jeff. Morning, JJ. Jeff, how you holding up over there, buddy? It sounds like you're having some technical difficulties.
Yeah, I might lose my hair at some point. I mean, my mind at some point, yeah.
Nah, man, I work in the technology business, man. Nothing's ever guaranteed, man. But I'm calling in today to look back in history on a moment that was really special for me. My favorite baseball player ever for the Colorado Rockies, because that's my favorite team. When I was 10 years old, I was at one of the games. It was back when their inaugural season at Coors Field was there. And Andres Galarraga underhanded me a baseball from first base at the end of an inning.
That's cool.
So it was really, really cool. So
nothing like it, huh? And I know I don't know if it's still practice, but it was for a while. The last out was made at first base. Ground ball to short or whatever. First baseman would keep it and flip it in, and then they throw him another ball so he could have it for the next inning to go out with. And people would clamor for that, and that kind of became a thing for a while. Just getting that ball for whatever reason, getting that ball from a Major League Baseball game is a big deal.
I think the nostalgia is from the fact that a lot of people are not able to go to a lot of games. I mean, when I was 10, I lived in Colorado with my parents, and then after that, we moved back to Albuquerque, and then ever since, I mean, I'm 35 now, and I mean, I've maybe been to a handful of games, like maybe 3 or 4, and so I think it's just the fact that if you don't go often, it's really cool to just, catch a fly ball or catch a home run and just say, hey, I was there,
No, it is. Hey, Brian.
Brian, where did you grow up in Colorado?
You ever throw it around, or is it just sitting on a shelf?
To be honest with you, I have no idea where it went. After I left my parents' house when I moved out, I don't know what happened to it, honestly.
Yeah, it's still there. It's still sitting on the shelf.
I still have the memory in my mind,
man.
though.
Thanks for the call, Brian. Enjoy Friday.
You too, sir. Bye.
So I guess there's different levels, right? So a guy, Andres Galarraga flips you a ball. Can you play with that ball? You catch a home run ball from somebody, or you catch a foul ball. You can play with those balls, right? Take those baseballs out in the backyard and throw them around and play catch?
Yeah. I think you could definitely have some more fun with a foul ball. I think a home run ball, though, I'd probably, if I was a little bit older and understood it, might like to put that one up somewhere and just be like, hey, this was Charlie Kluberson's home run I caught in his 3 home run season that he hit over the left field wall.
There's no difference, right? It's a ball that was hit into the stands, and there's no difference. But yeah, you could. Hey, there's Garrett give me someone. There's Raimel Tapia's 3rd home run of the season, and this goes on the shelf. But there's Raimel Tapia's 3-2 foul ball. Let's go out and play with that one.
Oh yeah, it's just foul ball. It needs to get its life cycle. The ball was fouled off. So it didn't get to play its role as one of the 3 true outcomes, a strikeout, a home run, or put into play. So you need to use it so the foul ball can feel like it earned its worth as being a Major League Baseball. And by the way, Brian, I didn't get a chance. What street did you grow up on, bro? I need to know the street because we might have been very close to each other. If you're up there in Colorado, because I know Jeff always gets California streets in there, so I gotta get some Colorado streets next time.
You got to.
Let me know.
You got to.
Let me know.
You like the highways, dude. You like say, well, if you get on the 101 and go to the 405, and it'll be 8 miles, but it's going to take you 45 minutes, and then you like that stuff.
Hey, JJ.
All right, 505-246-0610 if you want to get in. 888-922-0610. What makes a foul ball so precious? It's just one of those baseball things, and JJ's probably right. Although it's like it's it's very similar to a puck in hockey before they put up the nets, right? Getting a puck at a hockey game was a big deal. And I'm going to tell you, a lot of people have never felt a hockey puck, right? If you don't play hockey, you probably don't come across, I guess if you don't play baseball, you probably don't come across a baseball. But certainly in our country, more people have come across a baseball than a hockey puck, and damn, it's really hard. Yeah, but I guess it's the same thing. So it's a game-used piece of equipment or a game-used piece that makes it special, because you're right. You know, football goes into the stands, somebody kicks a field goal or an extra point, dude's coming to get it from you, but a hockey puck or something goes in, and you get to take that thing home. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, hockey puck literally feels like you're throwing a weight at someone. And just to think about the dudes that are hitting that thing 100 miles per hour, and you're like, yeah, I'm going to stand in front of this and block it. That is why you see when one gets you the sting and those guys limp into the bench. Those things are insane.
Yeah, and then there's dudes who make a living by standing in front of them, just blocking them with their body. Yeah, they got a lot of padding on. Yeah. I mean, unless you play for the Capitals, you know, you get hit with them more than they go past you. But, yeah, you got a lot of padding on. But, yeah, hockey puck is something, man. But I think you're right. It's you get to go home with a piece. It beats the heck out of going to the concession stand or the souvenir stand and saying, you know, here's $40 for that T-shirt. I caught a ball. I got a puck. Mm-hmm. This is pretty cool. And if you get a hockey puck from a game, You know, I found, and actually I showed Addie what a hockey puck is because she's never seen one. The groundbreaking, or it was either the groundbreaking or the grand opening of the what they then called the Rio Rancho Events Center. Is it still called Santa Ana Star, or they took their name off that, right?
No, I think it's a Rio Rancho Events Center because I saw yesterday a post from the Duke City Gladiators. That's where they're going to be playing their football this year.
Is that right? All right, I did not see that. So the Rio Rancho, I just got an email from the Rio Rancho Events Center. How about that? A new concert announcement. Foreigner, August 1st at the Rio. So, but I got the hockey puck from. It's either the grand opening or whatever, but it's there. It is sitting there. So yeah, you keep those things. I got a box somewhere, old baseballs from like the Northwest League and from the Pacific Coast League and then Major League Baseball. So, yeah, you keep them. All right, 246-0610, 888-922-0610. Want to get into some NBA stuff. Anthony Davis coming back, and I thought the Michael Jordan announcement yesterday was kind of a cool thing. So we'll get into that. It's the opening drive. Jeff Siembieda and J.J. Buck. Aaron's producing on ProView Networks. You can watch the show on ProViewNetworks.com or on our Facebook page, The OD in the AM. Robert Katz taking your call at 246-0610. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Underneath for Alter, tries the slam and does it. So in two... comes the pressure. Hasbury takes it away and sends it in.
Well, there's a top 10 play right there, I can tell you that.
The last-ditch effort for the Wildcats. They are cornered right now. That ball, goal! It's the long goal from Contreras! Holy cow! Luke Contreras absolutely launched that ball. Contreras. And Kumar takes the shot, and that is it. We didn't make it an entire minute into this overtime before Oliver Kumar delivered the winning score. Look at those boys celebrate down there, dogpiling on top of number 6.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult.
DCE Systems want to help schools reopen and keep the students, teachers, and staff safe. We can also help every business reopen and keep their employees and customers safe as well. Don't just disinfect. Novalent antimicrobial technology provides ongoing residual protection against bacteria and viruses and is proven to last up to 90 days. That's right, up to 90 days. Call us today.
All right, this is right in the wheelhouse of our listeners.
And it should be. Do you have trouble finding your favorite Girl Scout cookies this year? Girl Scouts of New Mexico. You laughing at me again?
Girl Scouts of New Mexico Trails announcing Cookie Palooza this weekend.
A one-day pop-up Girl Scout cookie sale across Albuquerque this Saturday only. Swing by select Dion's locations, Electric Playhouse, New Mexico United Match, Mesa del Sol. There's other spots you can pick up your favorite Girl Scout cookies before they're gone for the year. Look, Girl Scouts rely on the cookie program to fund scholarships for girls who otherwise wouldn't be able to participate, and the troops use the cookie program to earn money for travel, summer camp, educational activities. All the info is on our website, sportsanimalabq.com. You can find locations. But fellas, ladies, if you need your cookie fix, and who doesn't, Cookie Palooza is tomorrow. Go find a spot. Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck. You got a favorite Girl Scout cookie?
Probably Samoas.
Me too. Frozen Samoas. Yeah. Do you freeze them? Aaron,
I don't think I've ever
huh?
froze them, but I'm all about that because when I do a lot of chocolate, Reese's, etc., they go right in the fridge. So.
Me too. I didn't like her candy frozen. I love the frozen chocolate thing now. Now, and the frozen Thin Mints are good too. Don't get me wrong. There's and the Tagalong's got the chocolate peanut butter one. That's a pretty good one too. Bob, you don't do sweets, right? So you don't do Girl Scout cookies. So don't participate in Cookie Palooza. That wasn't for you. All right, JJ, I saw this yesterday, and I thought this was really, really cool. The Naismith Hall of Fame has announced their list of presenters for the 2020 honorees, and Michael Jordan's going to present Kobe Bryant. And I just thought, who better? There were probably people with whom Kobe was closer. There were probably people who know Kobe better, but nobody, it doesn't feel, for this particular award, for the Naismith, for the Basketball Hall of Fame, Michael Jordan to present Kobe Bryant seems so incredibly right.
It does. There's people maybe along the way, some teammates, guys that you think you might have had a better relationship with, but when it comes to basketball, it should be the greatest of all time, enshrining the player that since Jordan retired has been the closest just in terms of attitude, mannerisms, the way he played the game. That is one Kobe Bryant. I think this is an exceptional thing that we will see. It is absolutely the right decision because I expect it to be very, very emotional for the Kobe Bryant ceremony. And I think, Jordan, too, is going to handle himself well. I think just coming off the Last Dance documentary, he's still got that edge. He's still Michael Jordan. But I believe he's going to do very well in this specific instance, helping enshrine Kobe Bryant into the Basketball Hall of Fame. And I like it, and I'm looking forward to it.
Look, Michael Jordan has achieved a status that I think we would all love to achieve, and very few of us will completely. I think we all, not all of us. Some of us will get there to a level, but it's I don't give a bleep what you think, right? I mean, he's Mike. What does he care? What are you going to do to me? You don't, you watch the documentary. If you got I don't give a bleep. I mean, he's still Michael bleeping Jordan, and so to say, yeah, he'll do well. He'll do great. And it's going to be it's May 15th. I can't believe how quickly it's coming up. It will be emotional. It will be because there's other guys going in now. I mean, and Kim Mulkey's going in, Tim Duncan's going in, Kevin Garnett's going in, Eddie Sutton is going. There's a lot of really good names who are going in, but very few names in the sport period are going to be at the level of Kobe Bryant, and then the tragedy that took Kobe's life, along with 7 other people. Including his 13-year-old daughter. When I saw this, JJ, like I'm not a big Hall of Fame watch. I don't have to sit through the whole thing, but I want to see this. Like, this is one where I don't want to just see the snippets. I don't want to see the highlight. I want to watch this, and I want to watch this one live. And I don't find myself feeling that way about many Hall of Fame ceremonies. They're interesting. If I'm home, I'll catch it. I'll put it on in the background. That's never been must-watch TV for me unless there's a certain player who means a lot to me. But and Kobe certainly is that. But the fact that Michael Jordan is going to be the one who is presenting Kobe for the Hall of Fame, is Vanessa going to accept? Right? Because typically somebody presents and then that person comes up and speaks. Is it? Do we know that? Because I haven't seen that. Have you?
I have not seen that aspect to it, but I do agree with you on this is something I will tune in for. Michael Jordan talking about Kobe Bryant, honoring Kobe Bryant. Usually it's on in the background and you see the story, she'll get the class. Oh, that's neat. Oh, I remember those guys. This will definitely be one that, as you said, I'll turn on and actually watch live.
Yeah, all right. So that's going to be on the 15th of May. It's coming up in about a month, and I think that's significant. Lakers got beat by the Celtics last night. Celtics have won 5 in a row, 121-113. And when you sit there and you see Anthony Davis and LeBron James sitting on the bench and watching that group of Lakers go out, I sit here and I tell you I don't know what it means. Anthony Davis has been cleared to practice again for the Lakers. You feel and I feel the same way on this. We both feel LeBron James will be healthy and be ready to go in the playoffs just because we don't know anything about his injuries, but we know he's LeBron James. The issue for you and I think both is Anthony Davis going to be good, and how good for the Lakers to make that run? Because as they continue to slip, and I don't think they slip down as far as the play-in tournament. The Lakers are currently sitting in 5th spot, so they're 3 games clear of the Mavericks to stay out of the play-in tournament, and right now they would get the – how about that? I mean, if nothing else, like you want to say what kind of break are they going to get? The Lakers right now would get the Nuggets, who – aren't the Nuggets. They're not going to be the Nuggets without Jamal Murray. So they would get the Nuggets in the first round of the playoffs as it sits right now. But you and I both think that it doesn't matter that they're losing games right now. They're 34-22 because they're really not the form of themselves that will play for a championship.
Absolutely. And it's really interesting listening to just the varying degrees people look at this Lakers team. Because, of course, they're going to struggle without LeBron James and Anthony Davis. But yet there's still a lot of people that think this core around LeBron and AD is actually better than it was last year. And that's a hard thing to think about in the moment when you're not winning basketball games, but you know why you're not winning basketball games, but yet you're better role players. And I think when it's with Shooter, KCP locked in as always, I think Markieff Morris, despite the fact the team's not winning, I think this has been a really big stretch of basketball for him. So when those guys do come back, it's not necessarily, hey, we have to learn to play together. It's like, all right, these guys got a bunch of confidence, at least balling out, and we can do what we continue to do with LeBron James and AD back in the lineup. I'm 100% on board with LeBron James being fine after a sprained ankle. It's Anthony Davis. You just don't know how his body is going to respond. I think they're taking extra caution with him, which makes a ton of sense. Because as you've pointed out many times, it doesn't matter if they're the 5 seed or the 1 seed, they're still going to be the favorites if those 2 guys are on the floor with the way they play defensively and what they can do overall. But it's just the one guy that I have hesitation with is Anthony Davis. But I would say the one thing you don't want to do is just fall in the playing game because you just don't want those 2 extra games. That's about it.
You don't need that. I think they're going to be okay. I don't know that I think Dallas is going to make a big run. I do find it ironic. Look at that. There they are, gets depleted. Denver Nuggets team in the first round. And look, Joker's no joke. I mean, Nikola Jokic is terrific, and he's an MVP candidate. I just don't think that without Jamal Murray and you're going up against, assuming LeBron James and Anthony Davis, that I just don't think the Nuggets can do that. What did you make of the LaMarcus Aldridge announcement yesterday? And it came towards the end of our show. He announced his retirement suddenly. He had just signed with the Nets, had played 5 games, medical issues, and basically that's it. I mean, that's an abrupt end to a career that I look at it, and you kind of go back and look at the stats, and probably forget, because he did it in somewhat anonymity for the majority of his career, how good LaMarcus Aldridge was. And then, on the back end, he tried to get on with some teams where he could be a part of something. You sit in Sacramento on bad teams for so long, and you don't exist.
Portland, and they were good. He was on some good teams in Portland.
In Portland,
yeah, his career, Portland, San Antonio, and then this run with Brooklyn. LaMarcus Aldridge.
Yep. And then went to San Antonio, tried to chase a ring, and certainly this year. I think that, and that's what I meant. In Portland, you forget how good he really was.
He was a mid-range monster. Like the rarity of just a solid post player that didn't necessarily stretch his game, but he was still so effective. You look at his scoring numbers, the way he impacted the game defensively, and he lived inside. And it's a rarity, but he's still one of those throwback players. He just could never get over the hump. Dame Lillard was good. He wasn't quite the player we see today when LaMarcus Aldridge was in his prime in Portland, racking up a lot of those wins in the Pacific Northwest. You see, he got to San Antonio and kind of the transition when they went from a championship caliber team to just being almost like the Portland Trailblazers, a good team that just doesn't quite have enough. And it made a ton of sense on the buyout market for him to jump on with the Brooklyn Nets, and it's scary when you see the irregular heartbeat come up. But in his statement, he said, it's time for me to focus on myself now. I've given so much to the game of basketball. Now I got to just worry about my family and living life. It's totally understandable. It's a scary situation that it's a good thing that nothing else happened on the basketball court. But he's one of those guys that we're not going to talk about LaMarcus Aldridge forever, but he absolutely had a tremendous career, standout at the University of Texas, and 2 thumbs up to him. Solid career, LaMarcus Aldridge.
How'd they find it? I didn't see the story on how they found it.
It was something he dealt with a few years ago. So it's an issue that they knew about, and obviously they've been able to manage it, but I'm not sure what exactly happened that it occurred, that it came up and then got to the point where he said, I can't play basketball anymore.
Yeah. All right, and then the other story in the NBA yesterday, James Wiseman out for the season, and I know if we played the game, we probably win the game. James Wiseman is who? He was the second overall pick in the draft. He was going to be the guy that was going to be that next piece to the Golden State Warriors. And, the fact that they're in playoff contention again, Draymond's been there, but no Klay Thompson, no James Wiseman. I mean, the whole reconstruction of that roster, what Steph has done to keep him there. I think it's a fairly significant deal that he's out. Not that I think that they were going to make a big run in the playoffs, but for them to Golden State to potentially win a playoff series, I mean, I don't know that Steph can do it all. I don't know that he can get them into through the playoff tournament. But I thought that was fairly significant when I saw that yesterday.
I think Steph can get this team through a best 2 out of 3. Now, winning 7 games, I just don't think he's that type of dude, especially if they get in and they're going to be the 8th seed, and then you're staring at Utah or Phoenix or something like that on the other side. It's going to be incredibly uncomfortable. It's like when you see Dame Lillard in the playoffs, you're like, oof, this is going to be tough, because that dude can steal a game or two. Absolutely. And Wiseman was one where I don't think he was the highest ceiling player available. I think it was more of one of those, hey, we think this will fit us better because we have Klay Thompson, Steph Curry. Let's just get that defensive anchor inside and go. Because unfortunately, the timing, it was like a week after the draft that Klay Thompson suffered his injury. Because I think if Klay Thompson suffers his injury, they might go. I think you actually could have seen LaMelo Ball playing for the Warriors. I think they absolutely go a different route if Klay Thompson is injured at the time of the draft. But they went for what thought was going to make sense at the moment.
Who's Rookie of the Year?
It's going to be Anthony Edwards. I mean, games played, LaMelo Ball absolutely was so much better than anyone expected. Because I think we all got tired of big baller brand. And Lonzo settled into a solid player, all right, whatever, that middle child, who knows what he's doing. And then LaMelo comes in without the hype because he was playing over in Australia, and then you see him on NBA court, and this kid can ball. LaMelo Ball is a legit basketball player, but I think you do have to give it to Anthony Edwards. He took a step the last month or so scoring-wise that I wasn't sure he was going to take. I was not sold on Anthony Edwards. I was like, I don't know if this guy can live up to it. Because it's always one where you get a feeling and then you're proven wrong immediately, and that was Anthony Edwards. He has absolutely lived up to the hype, and he's going to be the Rookie of the Year.
505-246-0610. We'll get to the phones when we get back. Warren Schaefer, the Isotope skipper, is scheduled to be with us coming up at 9 o'clock this morning. Going to give you a few truths as you head into your weekend, gentlemen. As men age, things like fatigue, low T, hair loss, it's all natural. Good chance it's going to happen to you, and there's nothing to be ashamed of. The beauty is there's something that you can do to battle nature and feel like you again. If you're experiencing those things, you're regularly tired, maybe carrying a few extra pounds, or you're dealing with erectile dysfunction, I suggest you call NuMale. NuMale has led the way in helping men deal with these issues for years. Their testosterone replacement utilizes the latest cutting-edge technology, and men all over the country have benefited from it. They feel better. Call them at 505-652-1688 or visit NuMale, that's NuMale.com. Fellas, NuMale's convenient. They're right here in Albuquerque. The process is comfortable, starting with your phone call all the way through the treatment. NuMale guides you through the process, and the best part is the results are real. 505-652-1688. That's 505-652-1688. Don't put it off. Take care of you. Visit NuMale.com or call them at 505-652-1688 and feel better.
This report brought to you by Quality Dealership on
reopen. Here at Quality, we're celebrating our 64th anniversary.
We can also help every business reopen and keep their employees and customers safe as well. Don't just disinfect.
Price reduction.
Valent antimicrobial technology provides ongoing residual protection against bacteria and viruses and is proven to last up to 90 days. That's right, up to 90 days. Call us today at 505-507-7722 or go to DCESystemsInc.com to learn more. DCE Systems are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Here at Legacy, we are here to disciple people by helping them connect with God, grow in relationships, and live generously.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened? Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Car Crafters is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
A rogue virus, no jobs, sky-high tuition debt. Life is trying to put our generation on the sidelines. But we refuse to just sit back and watch it pass us by. Instead, watch us fly ahead. Watch us overcome anything. Watch us rise. Watch us change our world. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
Datacom is the manufacturer's representative for the states of Arizona and New Mexico. Datacom represents Fuji Electric for uninterruptible power systems and Layer 0 for static switches and power distribution units. High-Tech Power Protection manufactures dynamic rotary UPS systems up to 3.6 megawatts, individual and 100 megawatts by combining multiple units. Call Louis Ruffin today at 505-507-7722 or go to datacom.com to learn more.
Turbo Threads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. Turbo Threads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for Turbo Threads.
Calling all football players, are you looking to develop your skills this season? It's never too late or too early to put in the work. Coach Carl Barrere and the Air Barrere program at 8 Grady's Performance Center provide comprehensive position training for aspiring football players at all levels. Whether you're looking to increase your speed, gain strength, or hone your skill, we train all positions with a team of experienced coaches who know what it takes to succeed at all levels from Yaffle to college. Check us out at 8gradys.com to learn more and sign up for training today.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green. And keep the community green as well. Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment. You trash it, we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
Arizona State, Aggies got one from Washington, Missouri. They got a big man, raw big man. You can get in on that. 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. It's the opening drive. Jeff Siembieda and J.J. Buck. Let's go to it. And James, thanks for holding. You're on the Quan's Auto Care Hotline. Hello, James.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Hey, I just seen that. I didn't even know Sean Miller got fired from Arizona.
Yep.
I've seen that, and man, that's going to throw the recruiting of the Pac-12 all haywire.
Why?
Wow, that sounds good for us Bruins coming off our year. So, man, that's hey, life is looking good, bro, in Westwood, man.
Why do you think it's going to throw it all haywire? Because they can't cheat anymore, or what?
No, yeah, well, I'm going to let that go, but he was fired. Sean Miller did some good recruiting. He got some good guys down there, and it's just going to now the UCLA is going to get the pick of the litter. I mean, we always did, but it's going to be better now.
We'll see. I think Arizona's still a brand. Tommy Lloyd can probably recruit pretty well. He's been big recruiter as far as what Gonzaga's been able to do. And I'm going to guess if you can get him to Gonzaga and get him to Spokane, he could probably recruit him to Tucson and a program with all that tradition.
I don't know. We shall see. You ever been to Tucson?
I have.
Not really very.
You ever been to Spokane?
So.
I mean, the weather's a lot better in Tucson.
That's true. All right, you guys have a good one, bro. Take care.
James.
Go Bruins.
I mean, I don't know. Do you? I know you believe that the Tommy Lloyd thing is good for Arizona. The question mark for me at Arizona is, what are the sanctions going to be? Are there any sanctions? I think, like USC, they need to put this thing to bed. And if it's going to be 1% of their budget, a $5,000 fine, and a no-show cause the no-show for Sean Miller, then they can move on. They can pay their money, and they can go on, and they can recruit. They can be Arizona again. Don't you think?
Yes, and Sean Miller had 7 NCAA tournament appearances, so they definitely flashed. I just think moving forward, they are in a much better position. Not just the fact they're moving on from Sean Miller, But the last few years, not just because of the NCAA stuff, it's been rough. And I think Tommy Lloyd is one of those guys that is really going to pop. The work that he did with Mark Few at Gonzaga, the fact that he was credited for a lot of that recruiting. Tommy Lloyd was a key figure in that. Then you give him the base of Arizona, where you just started to see Gonzaga over the last few years get in that one-and-done conversation, get to those different players. Now you mix that with the international pipeline. I think this is going to help Arizona get back to that level that Sean Miller did kind of reach mid-tenure, where they were popping close to being, at times they were the number one team in the country, and I think Tommy Lloyd's going to bring that back for the Wildcats.
Yeah, I think that's right. Tommy Lloyd is, along with Jerome Tang, don't you think the two, right, as we sit here today, and it fluctuates, two of the hottest, biggest name, most respected number one assistant coaches in America. Jerome Tang was at Baylor, right? I mean, these were guys that they were on everybody's list, and they weren't going to UTEP. They weren't going to even Texas Tech, because I know those names were up there for that job. The Arizona job is different, right? The Arizona job, while it's not North Carolina Duke, it's, JJ, I'm going to tell you, in that next shelf, isn't it? I mean, when you say, Carolina, Duke, I don't even know that I think Indiana's up there anymore. UCLA's borderline up there. That next shelf is Arizona, no?
Yes, I think Arizona is Indiana. Those teams, if you look at Indiana, and it's a lot of, well, have you done for me? Well, then you also ask, what kind of support do they have, passion for the program, money that's invested in it? And then to me, that feels like Arizona. There's a lot of good programs that have the ability to have a ton of funding, a ton of money pumped into it. Arizona is one of those. And it's not like they've had it hasn't been a long time since they've been good. It's just been the last couple of years they've scuffled a little bit. And if you want to say, hey, it's because of the NCAA stuff, you absolutely will listen to that. But I think it was also to just kind of the right time for Sean Miller to move on from Arizona. And in the Pac-12, it's tough. And you say it all the time, Jeff, those teams beat each other up. But you can see it. You saw it this year. You get in, you're going to be good enough to go on a run. I think Arizona can be one of those teams with UCLA, USC, Oregon that are consistent, that we're looking at the Pac-12, and then we'll be sitting there and got the Pac-12 and Big Ten and be like, man, how many of these teams are going to take up these NCAA tournament spots?
No, I think you expect it. I think you absolutely expect it of Arizona. Arizona, when you go the last decade, and we have this conversation all the time about the best programs on the West Coast, best basketball programs in the West, I think it starts with Gonzaga and Arizona. You throw in Oregon and San Diego State, right? They've been better and more consistent than UCLA over the last decade. It's been Arizona. It's been Oregon, it's been Gonzaga, and been San Diego State. Put them in whatever order you want. Am I missing someone? Am I wrong somewhere?
No.
And so Arizona is not a full reclamation project. Now, the issue with Arizona, and what Tommy Lloyd's going to have to deal with, and this is where I think Bruin James is wrong. I don't think he's going to have any problems recruiting. I think that brand recruits itself, that destination recruits itself, and that history does. And you get a guy like Tommy Lloyd who, when he says you can recruit, why? Because they can't cheat now? Why? Because we think Tommy Lloyd's going to do it the right way? I think Arizona absolutely is a brand that's going to resonate, that's going to be back, that's going to be a power on the West Coast and be back on the national scene within 2 to 3 years.
I'm right there with you. This is really interesting. I think it's more recent than overall total. That kind of tainted my Sean Miller view, which obviously you pushed back on, and rightly so. Right. There was only 4 times in his tenure at Arizona where that team lost 10 or more games.
Yeah, no, they were good.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's what I was saying yesterday where you said, you weren't that impressed. I think it was a little bit of recency obstruction because, the last couple of years when he was dealing with this cloud and everything, they weren't. But I think he did a really nice job there. Now, did he do it because he cheated or somebody on his staff cheated? You can have that conversation, and so can the FBI and the NCAA. But, no, I thought Sean Miller produced for them until he didn't, and then he's out and Tommy Lloyd's in. It's the opening drive. Warren Schaefer, the Isotopes manager, is going to join us. Coming up at the top of the hour, we'll talk Isotopes baseball. They put out their promotion schedule yesterday, and we're inside of 3 weeks until opening day.
It's time to take control of your fitness. What if I told you you can find all you need, the strength training, cardio work, all in one place? And oh yeah, it would only cost you 45 minutes. F45 Training is the gym that brings it all together with high-intensity group workouts that are fast, fun, and results-driven. This has helped me look forward to working out once again. I hit my F45 classes on the weekend. Yes, busy schedule, but then during the week, I want to get in those other workouts. I love the gym, the atmosphere, the trainers, the people that show up, all different fitness levels. It provides a great atmosphere that makes you want to go through that challenge and continue to push your mind and body moving forward. So check them out at f45training.com. Download the F45 app to see the schedule of classes. You can sign up for your 7-day free trial as they have classes 7 days a week, so you'll be able to find one that does fit your schedule. Like I said, F45 has helped me take my fitness health seriously once again. The atmosphere is great. The workouts are a new challenge every day, and I look forward to it. The certified trainers help motivate and create that experience that will keep you coming back. So don't wait any longer. Create your own gym identity right now at F45. Team training, life-changing. I'll see you at F45.
Pull up the churches today for boneless that's bringing it all. Bringing buttermilk marinated juiciness.
Next in line.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
At New Mexico Highlands University, you're more than a student, you're family. Whether you're taking courses in Las Vegas, Santa Fe, Rio Rancho, Albuquerque, or Farmington, you'll get that one-on-one attention to inspire you to reach your goals. Let New Mexico Highlands help take your passion and accelerate it into a career and fulfilling life path. Find out why New Mexico Highlands is the right choice for you. Log on to NewMexicoHighlands.com today.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Plan your adventure at WNMU.edu.
Hi, I'm Staff Sergeant Hayes. I'm with the New Mexico Army National Guard, and I'm from Tucson, Arizona.
Hi, I'm Staff Sergeant Greg Martinez. I'm with the New Mexico Army National Guard, and I'm from Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Hi, I'm Marilena Fernandez. I'm with the New Mexico Army National Guard, and I'm from Santa Fe, New Mexico.
The New Mexico Army National Guard is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school athletics.
Drive, Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck. Micah, Josh produces for you today over on the ProView Network side, where you can watch the show worldwide on ProViewNetworks.com or statewide on Comcast Channel 26.
Hey, welcome to the Steve Davis Show.
Good morning and welcome to Sports Desk live on Comcast Channel 26.
Welcome to The Point with Nick Rich.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 10, America Talking Out.
I'm Pastor Flora Padilla of Mending Broken Hearts.
Welcome to Henry T. Game Face Live, Comcast 26, and Big Bad ProView Network.
Often imitated, never duplicated. Welcome to Local Focus with Sebastian Noel.
Welcome, sports fans. It's that time of the week again. You are watching the Weekly Rundown.
Hey, welcome to Red Menace TV here on ProView Network.
Hello, I'm Steve Davis. You are watching Public Access TV.
Played, top of the 18. Morgan's there, one-on-one with the keeper, and that opens the scoring. Rachel Morgan, the senior, finds the back of the net, and it's 1-0 St. Mike's.
Oliveris for 3, yes.
Well, I like that young man.
Good transition opportunity for the Bulldogs. Deep three's up, and it's good by number 11, Annika Reed.
Rowe gets it, boots it forward. Myers is there, she's able to head it, and she controls. Dugan's there, she's at the center, gets across, shoots, and scores! Hello! What can you say there? Hello! And that is Alexa Duggan, who goes across the body.
There. Gonzalez going to get all the way to the basket here off the window with the extra kiss, and it's good for Gonzalez.
That ball played to the top of the 18. Morgan. Nice turn. Morgan, left-footed shot. Morgan! 3-0. And that is a brace for Rachel Morgan, the senior from St. Michael's.
Underneath her Alter, tries the slam and does it. So in two... comes the pressure. Hasbury takes it away and sends it in.
There's a top 10 play right there, I can tell you that.
The last-ditch effort for the Wildcats.
Or Hellcat wants to know Lobo Hobo. He says, Jeff, Bobcat's a lot more reserved on this show. In the house, he turns into Hellcat when conversing with Eric in the Viper Pit. Is that true? I mean, do you feel like you're much more of a Hellcat on that show?
Well, you know, that show is more politics. And, yeah,
That's the beauty of not being able to see Bob. All right, move on, as somebody once said. 246-0610. Terry, good morning. I believe you're on the opening drive. JJ, hello, Terry.
Good Friday to both you gentlemen.
Good Friday.
Talking about foul balls. I don't know technically if it's a foul ball, but I had emailed many a moons ago about in 1967 when I got a fill-in as Bat Boy, and Duke Snyder was the manager, and so I'm an 8-year-old kid running around, and anytime I look at one of those signed balls that I have, it brings back the memories of when I went up to him as coach and said, Coach, can you come outside and say hi to my mom? He was more than happy to do so. My mom was thrilled to death. She passed away numerous years ago, but her biggest memory was Willie Crawford had hit a home run. And I think I maybe invented the high five because the 8-year-old kid back then, it was you just slap hands, but I had to put my hand so high up in the air for Crawford to hit it. But she said, yeah, you were in line, and he slapped your hand, and, you know, that made her happy as can be. So, you know, it's the memories that it brings back when you look at something. And, you know, so from your daughter, with the ball she has, you know, if she keeps it 20 years from now, Jeff, she might come up, Dad, do you remember? Yeah, we were out on the field. You know, it's just what it brings back. It's not necessarily the monetary worth of something, but it's the moment
no doubt
it had. And, you know, the other tie-in was Mike Kekich, which he was the one brought up, with the wife swap. He's in there singing in the shower, and I just kind of glared at him because he didn't sing worth a darn. And so he kind of started chasing me around the clubhouse. And, I can still smell the pine tar. And, I mean, it's 50-some years later. And but like I said, I can go find that ball, pick it up, and just bring back the story. So, a lot of times that's what it is where you have for the moment. It's just not like I have this ball that's worth.
No, that's right. That's good, Terry, and I appreciate the call. Thank you. JJ, that's right. I mean, all those things, it's like anything else in your show. It's probably worth a lot more to you than you're ever going to sell it for. Whether I mean, you've been in my office. I've got so much crap in my office, and it smiles, right? It's a football from this, or a picture of Bart Starr. Like I don't have a lot of autograph stuff, right? But the Bart Starr autograph football, I'm not going to sell it. But there's those pictures of me shaking his hand after I made that field goal when he was here for that fundraiser that day, right? And I'm like, oh, that was really cool. And he's right. Addie will remember that day. Remember when Alex Bregman took us on the field and they got these pictures, and we look at it 4 years later and how little Addie and Dylan look, right? So he's dead on right. What's the memory worth to you? It's not the monetary piece.
Oh, absolutely. And there's little things that we all have that we look at, bring back a little bit of something that we went through, and sports memorabilia is absolutely at the top of that list for a lot of people.
Are you a sports memorabilia guy? Like do you, when you collect stuff, is it, because I told you, I've got 3 signed pieces. The one was the Steve Largent football I threw to him. One was the football that Bart Starr signed for me, and I'm trying to think what else I've got. There's a few in there that they're all people that I've met that I know or knew at some level. Are you a big signed memorabilia guy? I know Lenny is.
I used to be bigger than I have been over the recent years, just on little things, whether it's cards. I like the plaques that they sell, things along those lines. I haven't gotten anything in a while. But the few, I'm like you, the few autographs that I do have, just definitely super cool.
If you get like a Washington Capitals signed stick or something, that will see. I thought that might get him a puck. See, that's what it is. Baseball next. Warren Schaefer is the manager of the Ice Toast. Remember him? Remember them? They're back here within a few weeks. Warren Schaefer is going to join us next on the opening drive at 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
That ball, goal! It's the long goal from Contreras! Holy cow! Luke Contreras absolutely launched that ball. And Kumar takes the shot, and that is it! We didn't make it an entire minute into this overtime before Oliver Kumar delivered the winning score. Look at those boys celebrate down there, dogpiling on top of number 6.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
DCE Systems want to help schools reopen and keep the students, teachers, and staff safe. We can also help every business reopen and keep their employees and customers safe as well. Don't just disinfect. Novalent antimicrobial technology provides ongoing residual protection against bacteria and viruses and is proven to last up to 90 days. That's right, up to 90 days. Call us today at 505-507-7722 or go to DCESystemsInc.com to learn more. DCE Systems are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Here at Legacy, we are here to disciple people by helping them connect with God, grow in relationships, and live generously.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened?
Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Car Crafters is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
A rogue virus. No jobs. Sky-high tuition debt. Life is trying to put our generation on the sidelines. But we refuse to just sit back and watch it pass us by. Instead, watch us fly ahead. Watch us overcome anything. Watch us rise. Watch us change our world. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
Datacom is the manufacturer's representative for the states of Arizona and New Mexico. Datacom represents Fuji Electric for uninterruptible power systems and Layer 0 for static switches and power distribution units. High-Tech Power Protection manufactures dynamic rotary UPS systems up to 3.6 megawatts, individual and 100 megawatts by combining multiple units. Call Louis Ruffin today at 505-507-7722 or go to datacom.com to learn more.
7 o'clock in the morning. 7 a.m. where have you been? 7 a.m. where is your brother?
Now, voted the best sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. This is the opening drive with 2-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Siembieda, and J.J. Bach.
It's going to be good to be back in the ballpark for so many reasons. For all of us to be back, the countdown says 20 days, 9 hours, 34 minutes, and 22 seconds until the Isotopes open up the season against Sugar Land. It's the opening drive. Jeff Siembieda and J.J. Buck. And J.J., I've had the same seats at the ballpark since it opened up 18 years ago. Addie's grown up there, and just can't wait to get back out to the ballpark. And for the players and the managers and the people who make their living in baseball, whether it's at the big league level or at the minor league level, I know everybody's jonesing to get back out there. I know you are. For you to get Austin out there and have him start to enjoy it at 2 years old, he's going to love going out there. The manager of the Isotopes is Warren Schaefer. He was just over a year ago to you and never got to manage a game last year, but he will be there this year, and he's getting ready to put a roster together, and he joins us this morning. It's Warren Schaefer, your Isotopes manager. Warren, thanks for joining us this morning. How you living, Warren?
Hey, I'm doing good, man. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. I can't wait to get this season rolling.
It's something, and I don't even know how to ask the question because everything about it's different. But as you sit there and try to prepare, typically the big leaguers go play, and then a week later you guys are going. Here you are in extended spring. I'm not going to ask you what's different. I'm going to ask you what's similar. Is there anything that feels familiar?
Well, it was. That's a good question. There's a lot different. You're right. There's a lot different. But now that we're playing games and getting ready for the season, it's pretty similar. It's just longer. That's all. The spring training has been incredibly long this year, if you want to call it that. But we're playing games where we've got a date that's set that is similar that we're looking forward to for opening day. And we're just trying to make it as similar and as familiar as possible so that the guys can get ready just like they know how.
I know for fans, we're Jones, and just to get back to the ballpark, for you guys, this is what you do. This is your profession. This is your career. This is your livelihood. Can you quantify what it means for you and for the guys who are going to be on this roster just to get back to some sense of normalcy, everyday baseball? I know it's going to look different a little bit, but what does it mean just for you guys to just resume your careers and get back to work?
I just wish you guys could hear all the conversations we have about this every day. I mean, guys just cannot wait. It's just like anybody else doing a job. I mean, you want to get back to normalcy. You want to get back to what you know and having fun. And what we do for a living is compete every night. And we haven't competed every night in a long time. I mean, months and months and months and months. So, I mean, guys just we can't wait to do it. I mean, we can't wait to get back to what we do for a living. And, just like you said, feel normal again.
Warren, last year there was probably more time with your family that you were able to enjoy. And I've been interested to hear a lot of people's reaction about what were some positives that you could take out from last year. Obviously, it was a challenge for everyone. There's so many things that were difficult, but just trying to learn something new or take a positive from your experience last year, were you able to grow in any area at all?
Oh, yeah, that's a great question. Absolutely. There was enormous positives that came out of last year. Being home with my family in the summertime and just, becoming a better father, becoming a better husband. Because when you do what we do, we're gone a lot. We are not we're not typically family, typical family people, even though we love our families, but we never get the chance to really be in the grind with them all the time, waking up, going to bed all the time with them. And just to do that, just to become a better father and husband, that was a huge, huge thing about this whole COVID thing.
And with that, your role last year, how did the Rockies organization at least just try to keep you involved? The players obviously know minor league baseball. So what was just the process of keeping you involved in the game and at least on board with what was able to happen last year?
Yeah, I think just like people in other professions, we utilize Zoom a ton. We would have different seminars and coaches talking about certain things just to keep guys familiar with the game and familiar with each other, just see each other's faces. I think it was a really good time for us to do that. You'd rather be on the field. There's no doubt about it. But in that situation, you just kind of got to do what you got to do. And Zoom was big for us for that. I mean, we were on a lot, just like the rest of America. We were on a lot.
Warren Schaefer is the Isotopes manager. He's with us on the opening drive. Isotopes open up as Los Mariachis de Nuevo Mexico on the 6th of May against Sugarland. Warren, we got some old timers around here that they want to win, right? They love minor league baseball. They remember the Dukes back in the day when they were winning PCL championships. And you said something during your Zoom press conference last week that JJ and I both kind of looked at each other because we hear these guys call all the time and say, when are they going to win? And understanding that the AAA level is about development, you said something to the effect of, if you're developing right, you're winning. There shouldn't be a big separation. Can you expound on that a little bit? Because there's some people around here that just say, man, when are they going to win something?
Yeah, I understand that. I'm right there with them. I think that if you are developing right, you should win. And my job is to develop players. And if we're not winning, I mean, I got to look in the mirror and ask, how can we develop better? Because it should be, an immediate, not necessarily immediate, but sometime in the summer, you should start winning if you're developing right. It just goes hand in hand for me. There should be no separation. I mean, if you're winning, chances are, you're, as a coaching staff, you're doing a good job developing the players, and setting the culture and the atmosphere to the right temperature where they can succeed.
Yeah, and knowing that the role of the AAA club is always going to be developed, how does the role change year to year depending on what's happening with the big club? And I say that the Rockies are off to a 3-10 start, and this could be a year where it's about development, as opposed to a year where maybe they're contending for a playoff spot or division championship. Does what's happening at the big club change the emphasis or the goal at the AAA level?
I don't think so. Not for me. I don't think so. I think that every day, this is a day-by-day game. You wake up and you have a schedule, and you have certain early work that you're going to do with certain guys that you see need it and that want it. That doesn't change. I don't think that, the results of the big club change the way you operate. If you're operating the correct way, you should always be trying to get better. And there's no more sense of urgency or non-urgency if you're just doing your job right.
Warren, into that regard, outside of major league rehab assignment or guys coming down to get specific work, for you, is it just, hey, we want guys to maybe just hit X amount of innings or get this time in the field? Like, kind of what things are laid out? Are you able to just go out there and be the AAA manager for a baseball team, kind of no strings attached?
Yeah, I mean, there's certain guidelines for sure that I have to follow, but they're always discussed, and I feel like they do a very good job, the front office, of letting the minor league managers manage the game and win at 7:05, or whatever the games are in Albuquerque. But they do a very, very good job of letting me manage. We have discussions daily about how to use certain guys, maybe a different part of the order where they can start having success or back off a little bit, move a guy down. Innings-wise, that stuff's always laid out before you go, pitching-wise. But, they let me do my thing.
A few more minutes with Warren Schaefer, the Isotopes manager. I got to believe you got a pretty good idea. While the roster hasn't been announced officially yet, you got to have a pretty good idea of what your roster is going to look like. What kind of club do you have? Do you anticipate guys who've been at this level, big league veterans, a power hitting team? What are you looking at?
To be honest with you, it's been changing every day around here. It looks to me like there's a good mix, a healthy mix between vets and some young guys coming up. With their first taste of AAA, so I think it's a good, fun-loving group, and they seem to really take to each other, and a lot of them have been playing with it together for a while, and the vets that have come in have really been great additions, and they've kind of helped the young guys along. So it seems like it's shaping up to be a fun summer. There's some power in that lineup for sure. Some good starting pitching, got a good bullpen, seems like. It seems like we got a little bit of everything.
What about for you making a step up to AAA? Coming to Albuquerque, coming to this ballpark, and are there going to be butterflies for you opening day? Because this is a step up for Warren Schaefer in your career.
Maybe a little bit, but I think more butterflies. Just getting back on the field. I've been managing the game in like 2 years. It's been forever. I mean, that's just the other day here for the first game that we played here. You kind of felt it, and there's 0 fans in the stands, just because it's good to get back out there. It's good to get back down to third base and coach. It's been a while. You feel like maybe you lost it, but then you go back out there and you realize it's just the same old thing. So I'm really looking forward to getting back out there with fans in the stands. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun for the guys and fun for me for sure. Just get the adrenaline pumping.
No, Warren, you said the game of baseball, unless you're in the, I think it's wow, man, I forget the league it is, but the league that's moving the mound back a foot, that's not happening in AAA baseball. But there's always little things. Yeah, like the pitch clock. We do see Major League Baseball now, runners on second and extra innings. Is there anything that you like about the new things being introduced, or is it doing a little too much?
That's a good question. Some of it's okay. Some of it's okay. But, if it's changing the game in terms of strategy-wise and stuff like that, I'm not a big fan. But, the rule in extra innings, we did that a couple years ago in minor league, in AA, and, it was kind of fun. It's kind of fun because there's immediate stress put on the situation. There's immediate strategy that's involved, and it happens for both sides. So, I mean, that was kind of a cool thing for a manager because it's tough to make decisions right on you have to see what part of your lineup's up. Are you going to bunt? Are you going to hit? Who's running on second base? But other than that, I don't know. Moving the mound back, you can have that. I don't know. Well, this stuff's all crazy, man. But they're trying. I guess they have something that they want to do, and they're trying to get it done.
Actually, no point in moving the mound back. And then every baseball field in America has got to be reconstructed, and the cost of that.
That's right.
Here's something that hasn't changed. Balls going into the stands, foul balls, home runs. We were having a conversation this morning of what makes that so special. It's a baseball, for crying out loud. I mean, it's a $5, $4 baseball. You've been in baseball your whole life. What do you think makes that goes into the stands so special? Whether it's a foul ball or the first baseman flipping it to the guy in the first row behind the dugout after an inning, what do you think makes it so special about a baseball for a fan?
Oh man, that's part of the mystique of the game. And I can remember as a kid going to I grew up in Pittsburgh, going to Three River Stadium and catching a foul ball from Dante Bichette and thinking, oh my gosh, this is the best day ever. This is awesome. It's all about the kids. I mean, the kids love it. I guess you see you see older people catching balls and loving it too. Just they feel a part of the game. I think that's the biggest thing. They feel like they play this game and they can come to a big league game and bring the glove and kind of be a part of the game. It doesn't happen in basketball. It doesn't happen really in football that much. It's just really something special that's pretty much baseball only.
Yeah, it's like the dude who ate the home run ball out of his nachos at Dodger Stadium when Justin Turner hit it 2 nights ago. Last thing on baseball, and we'll let you go. This drives me nuts. When did it become in baseball, major league, minor league, if a ball hits the ground, it gets thrown out? I remember playing with balls that were scuffed and beaten and ripped.
Yeah.
Now a ball hits the dirt, catcher drops it, got to go into the pouch and get a brand new baseball. This ball can't be good anymore. When did that happen and why?
Yeah, well, it seems like this is a development over the past 7 years, 10 years. But I'm with you. I mean, there's a lot of pitching coaches that are always yelling, "What are you throwing the ball away for?" But it's all about the scuffs. I mean, they're taking the ball moves so much now. These guys know how to move it, and there's substances. You can see that they're talking about that, putting on the ball, and the scuffs make the ball move. Any little advantage that anybody can have, they're trying to get rid of. So
you can't have a speck of dirt on the ball. You can't. All right, Warren, I appreciate you spending some time with us.
All right,
looking forward to you being in town, and we'll catch up with you. And maybe even we're talking with Kevin yesterday about maybe doing a weekly segment with you. As 610 Sports Animal, 95.9 FM, the home of Isotopes Baseball. Your games are on our station every day, so maybe do a weekly catch-up with you, and would love that if we could work that out. So safe travels over here. Enjoy the rest of spring, and we'll see you here in 20 days, 9 hours, and 20-something minutes from now.
All right, fellas. Thanks for having me.
Be well. Warren Schaefer, man. That's good stuff right there.
Yeah, I always enjoy talking with Warren. The few times we've been able to do it. I remember I interviewed him when they had the opening press conference to welcome him in. Like, excited for the season. And here we are, finally doing it.
I'm just going to tell you it's refreshing. 505-246-0610. It's the opening drive on ProView Networks at 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
Everything.
Turbo Threads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. Turbo Threads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for Turbo Threads.
Calling all football players, are you looking to develop your skills this season? It's never too late or too early to put in the work. Coach Carl Barrere and the Air Barrere program at 8 Grady's Performance Center provide comprehensive position training for aspiring football players at all levels. Whether you're looking to increase your speed, gain strength, or hone your skill, we train all positions with a team of experienced coaches who know what it takes to succeed at all levels from Yaffle to college. Check us out at 8gradys.com to learn more and sign up for training today.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green and keep the community green as well. Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment. You trash it, we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
Refreshing about that, and I love talking baseball. And full disclosure, growing up, baseball was number one to me. Like baseball was my favorite, my love. I could watch any baseball game. I knew every baseball stadium. I was that kid. And making my living in college football, but I've moved over a lot. But I've always loved baseball. I love talking baseball, and nothing against Glenn Allen Hill. He was a really good manager. That wasn't him, right? His personality wasn't this guy, and that's why this is so refreshing. And listen to Warren. It feels like we're going to be able to have baseball conversations. And, I almost want to get into Dave Parker with him when he talked about Three River Stadium and growing up as a Pirates fan, and the Cobra who was on with us yesterday. But that I've covered minor league baseball, JJ, for the last, 30 years of my career. I mean, starting with the Yakima Bears and a Dodgers AAA team in Yakima, and I got to be tight with Joe Vavra, who was the manager back then in the Dodgers organization, and guys all through the years. Just loved talking baseball at that level, and that's why that's so refreshing to me.
Yeah, and especially minor league baseball, because it's about the stories. Who are these guys? How'd they get here? Where they're going? And how good they are. And that adds to everything. Yes, you want to. As a fan, you like to see winning baseball teams. That stadium's fun when people get into it. And, there's a home run. There's some winning late game situations. But it's the stories along the way. I think Warren Schaefer is definitely a guy that gets it. He's baseball through and through. Anytime you talk with him, I'm excited just to have that sense of ice host baseball. I have never taken my son to a baseball game. So it will absolutely be a first this season.
It's going to be the greatest thing. Like I said, I took Addie when she was 9 days old, and she's grown up there. He's
been there. He was at a soccer game when he was 4 weeks old. Yep. Haven't had baseball yet.
Yeah, and there's something about the baseball, right? Minor league baseball, and I tell you this all the time. 90 is probably big, but I don't know that 80 is big. 80% of the people walking up with a ticket in their hand, or now it'll be mobile tickets, don't know against whom their team is playing, don't care, will leave early and won't know who won the game and won't care, and had a great time, right? They were entertained by the cheeseburger races and the chili races and Orbit and the conversations they had and the beer and the nachos and whatever. And that's the beauty of that game. And some people tell me it's boring, and that's cool. Do your thing, man. I'm not going to tell you what to like. You don't need to tell me what to like, but go out and do your thing. But there's a beauty of it. And I'm glad it's coming back. I'm really, really glad it's coming back.
And you'll get home and you'll get to see that third inning home run highlight that you saw in person.
Or the sack fly for your team. But the Ice Hopes lost 10-1. Yeah.
John says, be careful now. He says, guys, I heard you encouraging people to go out in the yard and throw around their foul balls they may have laying around. Be careful with that. I did that one time with a ball my stepdad had. I actually hit it over the neighbor's fence, my first home run ever, only to find out it was signed by Babe Ruth. We had to go through all kinds of stuff to get the ball back. There was this huge dog involved. It was just a fiasco. So if you're going to take the ball off the shelf, go play with it in the yard, just let's make sure it's not signed by someone like the King of Crash. Just some advice. Isn't that a movie? Isn't that Sandlot?
He just sent you the plot of Sandlot in his email.
Isn't that Sandlot?
Thank you for catching on to that. I was like, I hope he knows what's happening.
Yeah, and didn't I read Sandlot? Yeah, right? Yeah.
Benny the Jet.
Yeah.
Some more of what? I haven't had anything yet. Kill him, his balls.
There's James Earl Jones on the other side. Yes, there's a big yes. Yeah. All right. How about this? First of all, I didn't encourage you. I asked you to do it. But if there's any writing on the baseball, just don't do it. It might mean something to someone. But if there's that ball that you just caught in batting practice, you could go do that, right?
Who's Baby Ruth?
Baby Ruth. Yeah. Yeah, I actually, gosh, somewhere during the pandemic, caught that it was on, and I had Addie watch. I said, I think you're going to like this. She's like, yeah, whatever. It's some baseball. And then she got into it. She's like, oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah. That was Sandlot, right? I mean,
that is a great movie. You just read Sandlot. That's great.
Yeah, thank you for writing it. Maybe I should pre-screen some of these, huh? 246-0610, 888-922-0610. By the way, the promotional schedule was announced yesterday. Did you look at it at all?
Why didn't you tell us about it?
Well, there were a couple of things that popped to me, and I end the show every day asking you to be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. On August 6th, there's going to be a kindness night out at the ballpark. And just reading from the release, they say there will be a tribute to the motto of the late community beacon, Jennifer Reardon, and who always reminded people to be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. So the first 3,000 people that night are going to get a kindness hat, courtesy of the Jennifer Reardon Foundation, which I think is beautiful. There's going to be adult mariachis jerseys, and there's going to be 12 fireworks nights, and opening night is Los Mariachis de Nuevo Mexico. So this is kind of cool, man.
Did you say 12?
I think I did.
For fireworks?
Rudy's on.
Highlights include 12 fireworks nights.
Dang.
Yes. Yeah. Rudy,
How many fireworks,
12.
bro?
Yeah, it's a lot. Dude, they love the fireworks, man. People love the fireworks.
You got to make up for last year. Absolutely.
Well, I think then they have 40. I think 12 almost feels light to me. Rudy, good morning. You're on the Quan's Auto Care Hotline. Hi, Rudy.
Good morning. Well, to quote the famous Chico Escuela,
baseball
been very, very,
very good to me. Yep. JJ doesn't know who Chico Escuela is. See, you're going too far back.
You got to Google Chico Escuela. That was one of the best skits ever on Saturday Night Live.
Garrett Morris did a character, back in the day of that original cast. Said baseball been very, very good to me. Yeah, Chico Escuela.
And what's so funny is it's really English for little schoolhouse. Chico Escuela.
How about that?
Yeah. Really, really hilarious stuff. Yesterday was a very important day for baseball, and I really enjoyed watching everybody wearing number 42.
Yeah. I got to tell you.
What that man went through is unbelievable.
Yep. Jackie Robinson Day, and it was on my list to get to. What the fact that baseball recognizes it in the way they do. There was a picture. The Dodgers all went out and took a picture. There's a Jackie Robinson statue out in front of Dodger Stadium, him sliding, and them all going out there and taking a picture, and what that means and what that meant, and some of the notes that you saw, the individual comments that players, like at some point somebody would have broken the color barrier if it wasn't for Jackie, but Jackie did it at a time that he was reviled, he was hated, it was the amount of hate. I don't know if you heard Dave Parker yesterday. Rudy, remember Dave Parker? Yeah. Okay. And he talked about when he became the first $1 million a year player, And he brought up race twice in the conversation yesterday about what he took in the 70s, the racial slurs, the hate that came, and the way he addresses it in his book. Like, it's not gone. It wasn't gone in the 70s. And what Jackie went through is everything that these guys are going through exponentially.
Yeah, well, I'm sure there's people out there that hate me because I'm Hispanic or because I'm a lawyer or because, and hate is hate. And what we have to do is start trying to educate people to look at the other person the way they want to be looked at. And I think if we just do that, it's so often the golden rule is the golden rule for a reason. Do unto others as you want to be done to yourself. And I think if we'd all just start living that, things would turn around very quickly. But, the movie 42, it's hard to watch parts of that movie. It really is.
Yep.
To know that people were sitting there, witness to that, and did nothing. So at least we've advanced to the point where we're doing something. Now, I don't know if it's misguided or not. I don't know if it'll work or not, but at least this country is trying to do something. And I think that's important. By the way, tomorrow night, this is it. You think the ski season's over, and then all of a sudden, your buddy who has a slopeside condo at Purgatory says $45 lift tickets. So where do you think I'm headed today?
You're going to the slopeside condo. You're bringing the bottles, and he's bringing the lift tickets. That's right.
Absolutely. And I will not get to see the women win the Mountain West Conference Soccer Championship.
Watch it, JJ. How does he watch the game? Wait. How do you watch it in your slopeside condo, JJ, tomorrow night?
The Mountain West Network.
There you go.
Absolutely. And I've watched a lot of sporting events on that, and it's a good platform now. They finally got that thing stabilized. So when we're off the slopes and we're back in the condo, we're going to catch that game because my buddy is a huge soccer fan that we're getting the invite from. So I'm really excited to see this. I think Heather Dyke has just done an amazing job.
No doubt.
The real thing that that's going on now is you see the synergy, and we talked about it the other night on the Zoom call. And I was surprised that I didn't see Danny Gonzalez on the Zoom call because I thought I'd see him at some point. He probably snuck in and out. But when you have that kind of unity, Eddie was on, Jalen Dominguez, who's in charge of fundraising, was on, and a lot of people who have put up a lot of money for UNM were on. And it's gratifying to see that none of those people have left. In fact, we're starting to gain some speed and momentum. So I think it's nothing but a really bright future for sports at UNM. And I hope New Mexico State can follow suit, too. I heard the email yesterday, and it's disconcerting that there's not more support because sports crosses all barriers and really it's always been a unifying thing for me.
No doubt. All right, enjoy that slopeside condo, and have a good weekend.
Yeah, you all have a great Friday.
All right, 505-246-0610. Yeah, if you can't get out there, not everybody is going to be able to get out there. JJ Buck has the call tomorrow as the Lobos play. We're not calling it a championship game, but the winner will be a champion and go to the NCAA tournament. They're playing for a conference championship tomorrow night against San Diego State.
The Mountain West Conference Final, where you will receive a championship hat and T-shirt if you win.
And an invite to the NCAA
Oh, and you get to go to
tournament.
the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, but it's not a championship game. It's the opening drive. Jeff Siembieda and JJ Buck. Happy Friday. Glad you're with us on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Next in line.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
At New Mexico Highlands University, you're more than a student, you're family. Whether you're taking courses in Las Vegas, Santa Fe, Rio Rancho, Albuquerque, or Farmington, you'll get that one-on-one attention to inspire you to reach your goals. Let New Mexico Highlands help take your passion and accelerate it into a career and fulfilling life path. Find out why New Mexico Highlands is the right choice for you. Log on to NewMexicoHighlands.com today.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is
not enough. Find a booth is real tough. Back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot. It's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Plan your adventure at WNMU.edu.
Hi, I'm Staff Sergeant Hayes. I'm with the New Mexico Army National Guard, and I'm from Tucson, Arizona.
Hi, I'm Staff Sergeant Greg Martinez. I'm with the New Mexico Army National Guard, and I'm from Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Hi, I'm Marilena Fernandez. I'm with the New Mexico Army National Guard, and I'm from Santa Fe, New Mexico.
The New Mexico Army National Guard is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school athletics.
Drive, Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck, Micah. Josh produces for you today over on the ProView Network side, where you can watch the show worldwide on ProViewNetworks.com or statewide on Comcast Channel 26.
Hey, welcome to the Steve Davis Show. Good morning. Welcome to Sports Desk Live on Comcast Channel 26.
Welcome to The Point with Nick Rich.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 10, America Talking Out.
I'm Pastor Flora Padilla of Mending Broken Hearts.
Welcome to Henry T. Game Face Live, Comcast 26, and Big Bad ProView Network.
Often imitated, never duplicated. Welcome to Local Focus with Sebastian Noel.
Welcome, sports fans. It's that time of the week again.
J.J. Edwards sent me a note. Said Sandlot was released April 7, 1993. That's 28 years ago. Feeling old yet?
Yeah. So I was 5 when it came out, and it was an absolute legendary movie of my childhood. Right up there with Rookie of the Year. It's the baseball movies I loved.
Sandlot still is legendary. Sandlot 2, not so much, but the original Sandlot?
Field of Dreams, fantastic as well.
Yeah, great one. Yeah. Watch the original Bad News Bears if you ever get a chance. Like even Breaking Training, where they go to the Astrodome with the old cast, not the remake, but get the old Walter Matthau. Catch one. That's another one during pandemic popped up, and Addie and I sat around and watched. I don't know if it was the original. Yeah, it was the original. It was the original Buttermaker, and it's terrific. That's great stuff. Hank, good morning. You're on the Quan's Auto Care Hotline. How are you doing, Hank?
Hey, I'm doing great. How are you guys?
Good. Thanks for the call.
Talking about feeling old. You guys brought some memories back to me that just, golly, I can't believe it. Way back when the Dukes were in town, we were little kids. I don't know if you remember in Tingley Field.
It's before me.
Tingley Field?
Yeah, before I was here.
Trying to run and jump on top of that big ball. Do you remember that?
Is that the
ball that's in front of the stadium?
Yeah, that's the same one that they moved to the front of the stadium now, right? That's the one that's still there.
It may be, yeah. And anyway, I was a little brother. I could never get a head start and jump on top of that ball. So finally, the day I did it, man, I thought I was King Kong.
That's so cool.
That was so cool. And the other thing you guys reminded me of was talking about playing with a baseball with an autograph. Was the Leave It to Beaver, when him and his chunky buddies took the Babe Ruth ball, went outside and threw it, back and forth to it.
Yeah.
Trash can man ran over it.
Yep, it's kind of the old Sandlot before Sandlot.
Exactly. And the last one is I worked in the summer for about 20 consecutive years with Petey Gibson, our old Lobo player.
Yeah.
And he told me so many stories I couldn't even begin to tell you. But I was really surprised that his uncle is Josh Gibson, the famous baseball player from the Negro Leagues.
I want to say I knew that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
And
that's
I
really
thought that was
cool.
pretty neat. Yeah, you can
That's
see the
really
build.
cool.
Yeah, Petey's built just like him. The thick arms and just a body built. You could tell a resemblance. But anyway, I'm a basketball guy, but baseball, you guys really made my day thinking about all that stuff. So I appreciate it.
Nice. Thanks, Hank. Call us again. That's
right.
cool.
Edward on
I love when
Sandlot.
we can. What's that?
Edward about
No, I
Sandlot.
mean, I'm just saying that was really a touching moment for me. It brought back some memories. I
That's
appreciate it.
good. All right, Hank. Thank
All
you. JJ, I love when we're able to that kind of call might be my favorite on the show, when we can jog a memory of somebody and no matter what the age is, and just say, yeah, that brings me back to whatever. But yeah, Leave It to Beaver did do that episode way before Sandlot. Sandlot might have stole the storyline and taken it to a whole nother degree.
a little bit.
Yeah. Edward, good morning. How you doing?
You know what? That last caller and then the previous couple of callers that talked about their youth, and even the Ice Stokes manager, when they talked about foul balls, it takes them back to a time of their youth. And sensory perception in the brain, smell is the number one, sensory that people pick up on. And the gentleman said, I could still smell pine tar however many years later. And what a tremendous story. Jeff and JJ, it boggles my mind when I see adults at baseball games kicking over old ladies and kids and trying to get foul balls. And I get it. I understand. But every one of your callers and the manager echoed the same sentiment. It's about the youth, and it connects them to the game. Jeff, you've been around a lot of high-end, athletic, athletes and managers and, professional personnel. With the workings that I've done in my past, I have stuff signed by Shaq and Kobe and Hall of Famers, Brett Favre. It's in my drawers, right? I don't even have them displayed. But what I really appreciate is the conversations that I've had with individuals, and I'm a nobody, right? And they were kind to me, and I got to know them on a personal level, and maybe a picture with them. Those are what people value, and not everybody has that opportunity. I get that. But I think it was a really cool, sentimental thing that you displayed today. The Field of Dreams was released in 1989, and the other night, my son and I were hanging out, and we watched it. I said, "You got to watch this show." And matter of fact, James Earl Jones is in that one as well. And he didn't understand the concept, and I had to kind of explain it to him. And he's a big Ray Liotta fan from the mobster movies. And he's like, Ray Liotta's in this?
Yeah,
and it's just kind of cool to go back and share those with your kids. I would encourage everybody to go back and watch the original Rocky 1.
It was on last night.
The storyline is so phenomenal. I watched it about 2 weeks ago, guys. And almost like Paulie and Burgess Meredith are almost the stars of the show, quite honestly. It's a phenomenal, we all know it won the Academy Award, but just it kind of takes us back to a place where things were more innocent and maybe a better time in our life. And I certainly appreciate you sharing that with us on your show. Guys, have a great weekend.
Thanks, man.
Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing, and let's be positive and push things forward. So thanks for sharing that today.
Thanks, Edward. Yeah, JJ, I told you the stuff. I got stuff in boxes too that are signed that were gifts to me. But like I said, the stuff that's on display, that Steve Largentball, he was on. I did a TV thing with him and said, I want to throw you the last pass you catch before the Seahawks retire your number. Bart Starr shaking my hand and signing that ball that I kicked through. I don't think that was the ball that I kicked, but that's the kind of stuff I met years ago. Did a Channel 7. Mark Spitz came through. Now, I don't know where this autograph is. It's somewhere. That's the only athlete I've ever asked for an autograph or asked him to sign something when I did an interview with him. Because he was Mark Spitz, and it was that was legendary to me. That had 7 gold medals in the Olympics. But yeah, it's the memories, it's the conversations. All right, final break. Get in 2460610. As we head into the weekend on the opening drive on Pro View Networks, Ron and Robert Cat has you on 95.9 FM at AM 670 Sports Animal.
Siembieda, JJ Buck, Micah. Josh produces for you today over on the Pro View Network side, where you can watch the show worldwide on ProViewNetworks.com or statewide at Comcast Channel 26.
Hey, welcome to the Steve Davis Show. Good morning. Welcome to Sports Desk live on Comcast Channel 26.
Welcome to The Point with Nick Rich.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 10, America Talking Out.
I'm Pastor Flora Padilla of Mending Broken Hearts.
Welcome to Henry T. Game Face Live, Comcast 26, and Big Bad Pro View Network.
Often imitated, never duplicated. Welcome to Local Focus with Sebastian Noel.
Welcome, sports fans. It's that time of the week again. You are watching the Weekly Rundown.
Hey, welcome to Red Menace TV here on ProView Network.
Hello, I'm Steve Davis. You are watching Public Access TV.
Played, top of the 18. Morgan's there, one-on-one with the keeper, and that opens the scoring. Rachel Morgan, the senior, finds the back of the net, and it's 1-0 St. Mike's.
Oliveris for 3. Yes.
Well, I like that young man.
Good transition opportunity for the Bulldogs. Deep three's up, and it's good by number 11, Annika Reed.
Rowe gets it, boots it forward. Myers is there. She's able to head it, and she controls. Dugan's there. She's at the center. She gets across, shoots, and scores! Hello! What can you say there? Hello! And that is Alexa Duggan, who goes across the body.
There. Gonzalez going to get all the way to the basket here. Off the window with the extra kiss, and it's good for Gonzalez.
That ball played to the top of the 18. Morgan. Nice turn. Morgan, left-footed shot. Morgan! 3-0. And that is a brace for Rachel Morgan, the senior from St. Michael's.
Underneath for Alter. Tries the slam and does it. So in 2... comes the pressure. Hasbury takes it away and sends it in.
Well, there's a top 10 play right there, I can tell you that.
The last-ditch effort for the Wildcats. They are cornered right now. That ball goal! It's the long goal from Contreras! Holy cow! Luke Contreras absolutely launched that ball. Contreras. And Kumar takes the shot, and that is it. We didn't make it an entire minute into this overtime before Oliver Kumar delivered the winning score. Look at those boys celebrate down there, dogpiling on top of number 6.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50
also help every business reopen and keep their employees and customers safe as well. Don't just disinfect. Novalent antimicrobial technology provides ongoing residual protection against bacteria and viruses and is proven to last up to 90 days. That's right, up to 90 days. Call us today at 505-507-7722.
Oh, when I was having my technical issues, or what? Or is this the first Friday in the last decade on the show we don't get to hoe?
I forgot.
Oh, man. All right. Well, it's not really Friday, JJ. We got to work tomorrow. I was like, do I got to work tomorrow? All right. So we're bringing Howard to hoe? I'll make it short. I just didn't I figured. Thank you, Robert Cat. I appreciate that.
No problem.
Whew. I didn't want to assume, but I figured while I was having all my issues, you guys might have voted.
Well, with all the issues, I forgot it.
So did I until just then. I'm like, damn, it's Friday. All right, let's get in as much as we can. Ho, you can't spell Howard without a ho. Hello, Howard. You're on the opening drive. Good morning,
hey guys,
sir.
The universe would not have been aligned correctly if you'd have missed the hoe.
It wouldn't have been Friday, right?
On hold, so I'm going to make this quick. You know, sports memorabilia. I have a signed picture of Tony Dorsett. And I don't know, you may be familiar with this event that takes place here in Albuquerque. It's called that New Mexico Bowl.
Yeah, I got a few of those left.
Yeah, you know, and I hate to say it, this year is the first year I missed it, and it was kind of sad because I had a good run.
Howard, we didn't have one this year.
Bowl.
Yeah, we didn't have one this year.
Well,
so if it didn't happen, did you miss it?
You still pulled it off.
But we didn't have a luncheon. Like all we had was a game this year, so you didn't. There was no luncheon to miss, so you didn't really miss it.
Yeah. Well, you know, and the whole thing about it is the luncheon is such a nice part of it because you get the bands in there, each school's band, and it just, I've met some great people like Jim Cowley, Joe Theismann, Tony Dorsett, a few others. You know, it's a great event, and I just want to say, things seem like they're getting back to normal. I'm excited for John Traub and all the Isotopes management and players coming up. Unfortunately, I had done some work at his house, and I was getting ready to do a little walkthrough with him when he took the phone call that said the season was canceled. And I mean, he was an upset man that day. And it's a long time coming. They're going to be back. And shame on those of us who neglect to support the Isotopes on a regular basis. I being one. I plan on doing that a lot more. It's been a long year, but you know what? I'm excited to go to an Isotopes game, guys. Thanks for taking my call.
I can't wait. And I can only imagine that day because JJ, the day I had the conversation that it became reality that we were moving the game last year to Texas. And I had a Zoom call with my board earlier this week with the New Mexico Bowl Executive Board and partners, and kind of walking through last year and what we're planning on doing this year. And just honestly, this isn't theater, this isn't overextended corn. I started to tear up a little bit talking about it on the call the day that we made the decision. I mean, I knew it was kind of steering that way, and I had talked to you about it. But after we expired all of our options with the governor's office and trying to play the game here, the reality of we're gonna play in Texas this year, and how emotionally tied I am and what it means to me, that was so hard. And John and I have had this conversation. I have a real good idea of how emotional that was when he got the call that you guys are going to have to shut down for the year. It's when you're so personally invested in something, when you work so hard to build something, and no matter how big or small it is, man, I can only imagine what John went through. And that's why it's so exciting that they're going to open up here in 20 days and 8 hours and 50-something minutes. So
can't wait.
Yeah. Dan, good morning. You're on the Quan's Auto Care Hotline. Hi, Dan.
Morning, guys. I, too, was calling in wondering about the hoe. But there it was. We got a little hoe, so no problem. But three of my favorite, not autographs, but photographs are with Warren Moon,
Jim Kelly, and Joe Theismann.
Wow, what's the common theme there?
At the New Mexico Bowl luncheons, bro. I have those photographs in my phone. I show them to everybody. They're some of my prized photographs. So that's what I love. But what I really want to do is I want to put a little challenge to Edward and whomever else. You know, one of the hardest things to get on the radio and articulate what you want to say, not be nervous and not fumble and stick your foot in your mouth and everything. But I want to see if we could start a tongue twister Tuesday, and I have a good one for you guys. Write it down if you want. 8 egotistical egoists echoing egotistical ecstasies. I'd like to see who can enunciate that on a Tuesday.
Text it to me.
I'll text it to you, Jeff. 8 egotistical egoists echoing egotistical ecstasies. You guys have a great weekend. Go hit some little white balls.
Earl, I might try to do that. All right, see you. All right. I like the theme of the speakers. It's amazing how the guys who've come through, whether it's Merrill Hodge, Tim Brown, Warren Moon, Joe Theismann, Jim Kelly, Lee Corso, Warren, whoever it is. We've had some pretty good speakers who've been really, really cool. Tony Dorsett. Earl, good morning. You're on the Quan's Auto Care Hotline. Hi, Earl.
Hey, good morning, guys. So first time I've called, I always listen to you in the morning. A couple of years ago, I was driving to work, and you guys were giving away some Isotopes tickets. So I called, I won the tickets, ended up taking my 2 daughters and my wife to the game, and we sat out in the grass, and my daughter was behind me, and a home run that the Isotopes hit was coming right at me. And I remember thinking, man, this might hit my kids, and I stood up as high as I could, and I fell over trying to catch this ball, fell over my daughter, and I came down, I landed on the ground, and there was 4 or 5 kids all around me, but that ball was in my hand, and I caught it, and my daughters were looking at me, and they're like, Dad, all those kids want the ball, and I said, forget that, this is my ball, and we took that ball home, and I couldn't even sleep because I was so damn excited, and I'm 50 years old, so you guys were talking about the memorabilia and the balls, and I couldn't help but share this story. And
so, Earl, you could have said
thanks for the memories there.
No, thanks for sharing that. You could have saved face by handing it to your kid, right? If you give it to your kid, you'd look the hero instead of someone else's kid.
I know. I'm like, why am I going to give this ball away? I've got 2 daughters here.
Yeah.
They wanted me to give it away, and I said, this is y'all's ball, and I, it's in a drawer somewhere now, but we kept it, and I couldn't even sleep that night because I was so excited. And,
yeah, but when you pull it out, you're going to laugh at it, and you're going to have that memory, and that's the value. And so you've answered the question, Earl. The question we asked this morning: why is this such a big deal? Like in the last minute of the show, you answered the question because you are going to pull out that ball a few more times, and you're going to laugh with your kids about it, and that memory is going to be valuable. And so that's you answer the question. What's the value in it? And that's it.
No doubt about it. It's a great memory, and it was a memory that for weeks we were talking about after it happened.
So good. Thanks, Earl. Don't be a stranger.
Thanks, man. Have a good one.
How about that? Right? We went through this whole show. I don't even know how it came up. Why people go after the nacho cheese guy. But there's the answer, right? They'll tell that story forever. Dad, you idiot.
The connection. Like we've all been to so many games that we forgot about, all of us in life. But when you're able to have that one thing to point to, whether it's a ticket stub that you noticed, the shirt you got at the game, but there's nothing like a foul ball because it's so rare to come home from a game with something that was used. And there's value in that, the story behind it, just the emotional attachment. Because just think of how many games you've been to and how many foul balls do you actually have. So it's something we see all the time, and it feels like it happens 15, 20 times in a game. But yet, I look around, I think I have like one actual foul ball from a game out of all these years.
That's so cool. All right, you got a big game tomorrow. Lobo women's soccer playing for a chance to go to the NCAA tournament. If you can't get out there, catch JJ. He'll have the call on the Mountain West Network. And I think they'll sell out their allotment, and they'll fill that place, and it should be a good time.
Music.
Very excited. I'll be alongside Tyler Ortega. A shout out. Been fun this season working together. And we got an extended preview. So game starts at 7:30, but we're going to go on about 7:10. I interviewed both head coaches for the pregame show. So we're going to have that content, and, of course, the game itself, 2 fantastic teams.
All right, thanks to Warren Schaefer for being with us. Great job, Aaron, all week. Robert Catt,
As long as we got that hoe in. Thanks for, I mean, with all the technical stuff, thanks
thank-
for keeping us on the air.
Well, thanks for reminding me about that.
Yeah, enjoy the weekend, everybody. Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowherd after that. Sports Bar this afternoon at 4. We're back Monday morning, 7 a.m. with more award-winning radio for you. Have a great, safe weekend. And don't forget to be kind, loving, caring, and sharing.
Okay, you're clear.
Drive, Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck, Micah,